Hello everyone, welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And we're here to play Arydia, 2 players, the way it's meant to be played, according to the community.
I was gonna say, are we sure?
Yeah, supposedly this game sucks solo, and I've been playing it the wrong way the whole time. Multiple people have messaged me like, you need to play this with more players, it's not that great at solo.
Oh.
And I was like, but it's true solo, and the rulebook even says it's been heavily balanced for playing 1 character per player, even at solo. And I'm like, well, I want to try it out then. That might be fun.
Are they just tricking you though? They really want me to join?
No. No. I'm sure not.
I'm just kidding.
Because even these randos voting on BoardGameGeek.com, are definitely saying it's like, play kind of 2 players the way to go. Like, sure, some people recommend solo, but it's not best with solo. And again, this is only 47 total voters. It's nothing. And if you want to let your voice be heard, go and vote on this poll or whatever, and you change it and vote your vote. But right now, I'm being told I should not play this 1 player. I mean, it's okay 1 player, but yeah, it's definitely better to play at higher player counts, is what people are saying. So, So now we're officially playing the best version of a not so great game, because again, this game is like 1,410 overall, even though it keeps moving up like 50 spots a stream, and we stream every day so far of this game.
Really?
Yeah. Like 50 spots a day almost, yeah. It's flying. Because everyone's just getting their copies, people are hyped, this happens, you know. Hardcore fan bases of certain publishers will just get on there, and it's easy. Like 100 people vote on this, and it's like shoots up 100 spots. It's like the Board Game Geek people who actually like use the website are quite a huge group. The people who actually vote and count plays and rate games and suggest player counts and sizes and complexity, very tiny amount of people. So if you want to go impact these numbers, you can heavily impact them by going and voting and stuff. That's why I always joke around. They're not to be taken too seriously, but it is fun to watch numbers move. It's like everyone loves watching that stuff, right? So it's a nerdy thing. So it's good times. So anyways, we're now playing this game that's only in the top 1,410 games overall. So it's not that great, but if you're going to play it at least to make it better, it's got to be at least with 2 players.
Okay. If
this is to believe, all right? So we'll find out today. We're here for science. We're here for science to find out. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome.
I'm excited for this.
Yes, it should be good-ish.
Good-ish.
Yeah, I played 3 days in a row, spent a few hours with the game. There are some things bugging me. There are some things I like. As with all games, no game's perfect. Not even my favorite game is not perfect. They all have little issues that annoy me, and I let a few out yesterday while we were playing, but I'll try to leave it for now and see. Maybe it's better 2-player makes up for some of that, but we'll see.
We'll see because I don't know your grapes on the game, if I come to the same conclusions.
And Feliswerg, if I'm saying that right, says we're going to start our 3-player campaign next weekend. Nice.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, it'll definitely be better having multiple hands handling, grabbing cards and tiles and cleaning up and tracking. There still is one thing that's bugging me, and I don't know. I was thinking about it this morning, like how I can solve this. And again, it goes with what I said. I made a comment how I think this game would have been, like, I would have liked it better if it had an app with it. Since I've already played games like this that have an app that takes care of some of the fiddliness in the housekeeping. I don't mean make it full digital like Gloomhaven, even though it'd probably be better that way too. But having an app to keep track of certain things would just be nice. Like even just a side phone app to be like, so basically the one thing that's bugging me, and maybe I missed something in the rules, maybe I'm not understanding, and if anyone has any tips or can talk me off the ledge, is the whole idea of the role-playing point system, okay? It's cute. I looked at it and went, okay, that's lame. Like we're not playing the role-playing style. We're not acting it out and earning role-playing points like that. And I'm playing solo, so that stuff doesn't matter. But now I'm playing 2-player. Most of the time when they add things like that in where it's like, oh, the person to your left reads the card and hides some information and we have fun playing it out. Doesn't always work so good on stream. And I just like to play it open and get through the business. Stream's already long enough, right? So let's not here play dilly-dally like, I'm going to ask you a question about cats. And you're like, no, that's not a topic. Ask again. Okay, you did mention something about a guild. And you're like, oh, okay, you got it. Hold on. Tweak mustache. Flip card. Rub hands. Oh, you're right. The guild, blah, blah, blah. Let me flip card back. And it's like, oh, well, that didn't do anything for me. Gave me some information I already figured out. Okay, How about this? No, I'm gonna read this. And it's like, even in the rule book, it's like, once you do that a few times, if they haven't got all the topics they're looking for, just flip it over and read them to them or tell them what the topics are so then they can ask you. And it's like, okay, all right. I want to get through more of the game in a session. I don't want to add in extra like 30 minutes total of like role-playing silliness like that. But don't get me wrong, if you have the time and you have the players that make the game more fun that way, do it. To me, I look at it like, okay, that's silly. Why am I even reading these rules in a rule book and trying to memorize them? I'm not. So we're playing without that. But what really is the annoying part is the role-playing points are earned, and you can only have up to so many. So we're playing 2-player. You can only have 2 per player, right? Mm-hmm. If you already have your role-playing points full, and you see that icon, you don't take it. And the game, I thought, had a clever system where you put the card back with the symbol on the left like you found it if you haven't taken the role-playing point, because the card is not officially cleared is the term they use. Once you take and achieve the role-playing point by finding it in the tree of structured conversation, once somebody yoinks that role-playing point, then you need to now put the card back in the box with the backside so that the icons are in the top right. And now you know next time you come across that person, you've cleared the card. Here's my problem. When I visit a location that has 3 or 4 NPCs, and I pull them out on the table, and I remember when I pull them out, oh, this one we got the role-playing point, and these 3 we didn't, okay? Great, okay? Maybe we can remember that, that's fine. 2 of us together, we could probably do it. And then I pick up one of those cards and you start talking to them. Oh, wait, which one did we pull out and it was facing this way, and which one did we pull out and was facing that way? And we talked to these guys like literally 5 sessions ago, which was a month and a half ago. How do we remember which one we spoke to and which one still had role-playing point up for grab? Because now I've picked up the card and I'm holding it a different way than I pulled it out of the box. So there is nothing on the card. There's nothing to mark, nothing to memorize. And it's like, okay, they're missing that. And then what happens when I slide that off to the side and we go to another location? And we reveal some more NPCs on the table. Then we go back to that place and I put them back. Or I clean up the game in 2 hours or 3 hours later. And now I have to put them back in the box. And I have to remember which ones we got the points from and which ones we didn't. Now I'm sitting there going, and this happened to me when I went to clean up the game the other day after stream. I'm like, I have a whole bunch of cards to put away. I don't remember which ones I got role-playing points from and which ones I didn't. I should have marked them. I thought I would remember. I'm not going to go back and watch my stream for a few hours and try to figure it out. So it's like just this fiddly thing. And you might just say like, oh, who cares? You missed out on a couple, or you'll get a couple too many. Not a big deal. It isn't, because it's literally the only mitigation. It just gives you that +3 to your rolls, right? And now I'm sitting here this morning thinking like, when we're playing 2-player, how are we going to manage this? Who took which role-playing point from which character? Even though we put them in and we pulled them out, now we got to remember ones are off to the side, ones we put away, and it's like one's laying on the table. Then I think of like, maybe we put some armor cubes on the ones that we can still get them from, or some wear cubes. But what happens when I bump those, when I slide away? And sometimes, Mel, you'll see, we'll have map tiles upon map tiles upon map tiles upon cards, just from running around for an hour in the game. Mm-hmm. You will pull out all this shit, and you just got to like slide it off the side, or you got to spend 10 minutes putting it away and risking paper cuts. Don't get me started on the paper cuts. It's dangerous, man. The amount of Band-Aids I had to buy for this game. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, it still takes time to put all this stuff away, right?
Yeah, when you're streaming, obviously we're not putting everything away right
But
away.
even they say that in the rulebook when you're not, because I bet during playtesting they notice people are getting annoyed by, wait, I'm pulling out all this stuff and now I have to put it all right back away when I decide to not talk to those NPCs or I run from that enemy. I got to clean everything up, take a minute, put stuff away. Who wants to be doing that while you're playing, right? That's why a lot of people don't like the app-driven games and all the stuff during the game, the constant setting up and tearing away and moving, and it's like, you know, but then people complain about the setup from Gloomhaven before and after is like too much before and too much after. And it's like, I don't know, there's no good way to do it. Anyways, I'm thinking like putting paper clips on things. I'm thinking of sleeving some of these NPCs and writing on the sleeve, like, did we get role-playing point? But then the deck box is super tight already. You can't sleeve these cards. Once you start putting a couple sleeves on these, you now can't look for cards because you don't take a lot of these out. They always go back in or in different sections. Or they go in the back when they're banished. This really should have an extra box in the game for putting banished stuff to slowly put room in here so you can sleeve things, because they want you to also sleeve to put tokens in things to keep items with things. And somebody told me you can put cards with this. Not every item has a reference card, FYI. There'll be one card for knapsacks, but there's multiple knapsacks in the game. So when you're tying a knapsack to a store, like, you'll need that card for other knapsacks you have, right? So, yeah, so there's some, I'm thinking like, the part that's weird about this, I wouldn't normally care, but the fact that they went so crazy with all the tracking from this with little tokens and triple layer cardboard to track your status. And not only that, they also put it on the back of cards. So you have this, I have this duplicated. So if I want to super track my current learned and mastered skills, I have, just in case I bump this cardboard or it gets wet in a rainstorm, I have this card I've sleeved and I've written on it and I've tracked it all here, doubly tracked. So they put in like 2 ways to track so many things, but then the role-playing point system and tracking which NPCs you've cleared and points of interest you've cleared and all that stuff, they put no system in for that. It's just kind of put them back in the box a certain way and try to remember the status of a card when it comes out of the box. Try to remember during your play session what the status of that card was and put it back correctly. Not fun. And that right there, it's like the fiddliness of bringing out map tiles and enemies and putting them back away in an advent calendar. Yeah, that's all annoying, but I can totally get through that. I can totally understand that. I can totally take that trade-off. Because either way, in Gloomhaven, I still have an accordion folder of stuff, and I'm still searching plano trays. Like, I didn't have to make plano trays custom for this game. I love it. But the advent calendar thing, and that's a little annoying. But what's really annoying is the whole tracking the RP system. Unless I'm missing something. I may be missing something, and there's some way that people are solved it. But it's weird that the publisher did all this play testing, FAQs on cards, 8 ways to track everything. But the role-playing system just feels like it was just an add-on after the fact, and it's like, just try to remember when people take them and when you need them and like how to keep track of them on the board. And I don't know, maybe I'm stressing too much about something that so doesn't matter to the game, but like, I don't know, they're basically like reroll tokens, and you know, it could make the game really hard or really easy if you're passing more skill checks, I would assume, but I don't know. Anyways.
Is it broken if you just took it every time? Do you think? Like, I don't know how often you would have saw repeats.
I haven't been using those reroll tokens that often, and when I use them, I literally get them refilled right away because I talk to some NPC maybe I haven't already talked to, and I'm like, oh, I know I haven't taken this one, but once I take it, now I got to remember to put that card back away later in the proper organization. And when I do put it away right away, I try to keep the play state. Yesterday, I tried to keep the play state really accurate on the fly, but then you're just spending so much of your time putting cards in. Oh, I need to go back and talk to him again. I found a key. 5 minutes later, I have to go find the card again, pull it out again. I got to remember now that I pulled it out what the status was. I read the card, and then I got to make sure I put it right back in the new order based on how I took a token or I didn't take a token.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a little weird. A little weird. Okay, let's read what the chat's saying. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the enemies were bugging you last stream. Yeah. There was just a bunch piling up. I was like, man, this fiddliness is like compounding and like, I don't know. It's like there's a few things in this game just started to eat at me playing it back to back to back and so many hours of the game. Obviously, if I played the game only once a week, that stuff wouldn't bother me as much. But when you really like sit there for hours, focus on a game, literally I've been focused on this game for probably like 5 or 6 days straight of like learning it, playing around with it, reading, researching rules, stuff on BGG, like trying to understand this game and then play it on stream for hours, get off stream. I'm reading rules, I'm discussing with Mel, we're looking through her character abilities. Last night I'm playing with her, we're playing through her little quick start combat tutorial. We're looking through her skills. We're like, I've been like obsessively spending a lot of my time focused on this game for like the last 6 or 7 days, right? And it's like, some of the things start to show really quickly when you spend time with these games. And that's what bothers me with some reviews of these games that came out super quick. After like reviewers play games like this all the time, this happens. Not just with this game, I'm sure. Where they play literally like the tutorial, then they play like 1 hour of the game wandering around, fight a combat, and then they're like, okay, I'm ready for my review, everybody. And it's like, I don't think you played it enough to see how some of the annoying things can weigh on you or some of the great things can show up later, right? It goes both ways. Like you need to spend a lot of time with some of these games to see what the game has to offer, especially when it's longer, right? They want to have surprises for you later, or they might not have any surprises for you later. And it's good to know that it's like not worth your time to keep playing if you don't like this. But sometimes games like campaign games like this like to switch up later or get more complex and get better later and be more entertaining later. And as a reviewer, I'll never know that, right? So, but yeah, it's interesting.
I just want to say hi quickly to John B.
I saw him yesterday. He came in stream. Yeah.
John, it's so nice to see
Blast
you again.
from the past.
Yeah, I hope you're doing well.
I know. I saw the icon yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a sec. Is that John?
It's been a while. I hope you're doing well.
John and I spent many hours together over Cloudspire and other games in that line.
Some people are agreeing with you that having potentially an app would be a great idea.
Yeah. Like I know some people say, no, keep an app away from my board game. But like, if I could just have an app to track NPCs, and that's where I was going with that was my solution. That's why I mentioned that yesterday. I was thinking of that for those little things like every time I pull out a card, I have to remember what the status is the whole time I'm playing before I put it back in the box. So if I wander to one place and I leave that NPC on the table and I go to a whole new place and find an NPC, find a boss fight some big boss, go through some new mechanics, pick a skill, upgrade, level up, all this stuff. And then I go back to that, put that card away and I'm like, oh, wait. Crap, did I get the role-playing point off that 2.5 hours ago when I was there? I wish I could just in the app like check something off. And then I thought, why didn't they have a card included or a couple cards that literally just have all the NPC numbers and a blank box beside them, similar to how the back of this card is, right?
Oh,
like,
and then you can just check.
Yeah, and you just check it off. Have you got the role-playing point from that guy? Check it off.
Yeah.
If I'm ever curious later and I want to take it seriously and really keep the game in the proper state, boom, I check the back of the card or check the couple cards that you have, right?
So your suggestion would be like all of these cards are kind of in a companion app that that's kind of presenting it to you?
You could literally have just a phone app, basic phone app that is those 3 boxes of cards pretty much, that when you need to pull out a key, you read the key on your phone and you click add to inventory. And when you're finished with the key, you remove from inventory. Like when you're talking to NPC, they know you have the key. You say, you're reading and it only shows you the options that are available to you based on the keys you have, who you've talked to. I know people don't want apps with their games, but how many times, like, I don't know, I played an hour, like, so anyone who's played a 7th Continent or 7th Citadel for hours and hours and hours, putting cards away and taking cards out, putting cards away and taking cards out, putting cards away, and like, holy crap, you're literally playing 1980s librarian simulator, and it's like, it's cute the first few hours, but if you're literally going to play through all the content of a game, if you don't like that, it gets annoying after a while. And like, thankfully those games are freaking, I love them. So like I can get through that and it's kind of quirky, fun part of it. And this game obviously went, ooh, I want to do the same thing. Let's give you 3 boxes loaded with cards. And you have to sit there managing where the cards are and what way they're facing and what you've done and switch them out. And then they also added the map boxes that do the same thing where you like pull the maps out, put them back, flip them over, put them in upside down, put them in the inactive, the active, and you're constantly tracking everything. And it's like, there's a reason why there's not as many librarians playing around with index cards anymore. They're on computers, they're scanning, you're literally reading books, ebooks on a tablet now. Like, there's a reason we've progressed, right? It's cool the game has gone backwards, and I know there's a lot of 80-year-olds in the chat, maybe 90, I don't know, who are like, man, that's the way things should be. When I was playing games in the 1960s, this is how it was. I don't know, but I'm just joking.
You think that's our audience, 80s and 90s?
No, I'm just saying. But it's like, it's funny when people are like, no, I don't want technology helping me at all. It's like, but if it could make it so you spend more time focused in the game and less time fiddling with what was where and what goes where, like you're just playing more and it's quick tap, tap, tap. I don't know. Give me the option at least. Give me the option. Maybe it's not a mandatory thing. Just give me the option.
What was the game that we played recently? I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Snowdale design game.
Lands of Galzier?
Lands of Galzier. And that's exactly what they had, right? Oh. And it updated automatically. Like he was able to go in and put like FAQ updates like as people notice things. Yeah. Instead of having cards that have misspelled.
And that game does have the cards on the map that flip based on the weather and like let's say I blew up a town or I let a volcano blow up or something and it ruined a town. I flip the card over or pull out a new card and put it in. That game also has the decks of cards.
Yeah. But it had like the management of
and it also had the app helping you out. Yeah. Like it didn't do it all physically, which was like a beautiful marriage, I think, of that. Like it did a good job, I think.
Oh, you guys don't have to say how old you are. I'm just joking.
I was only joking.
I'm just joking because he said 80s and 90s.
I was going to say 50s. I'm like, oh, I'm getting there. So I probably shouldn't start making fun of 50s right now because it won't age well when I watch this video back in like 6 years and I'm like, oh man, I was complaining about myself.
Oh, Yogi's the baby here. Yogi, do you want to say how old you are?
I'm only joking.
Oh, and sorry, Mark C has a message there.
Mark C has been a member for 28 months. What's up, Rob Mellon chat? Been here a hot minute, since I've been here live. Hope you have a great game today. Thank you, Mark.
It's been a hot minute since I've been on the stream.
Yeah.
I feel like since I've been here.
Hot minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're younger than me.
Yeah. We're just messing around. I'm joking about the age thing. I'm just messing around. It's like that funny thing when people are like, I always get attacked for liking board games with apps in them if they're done right. And it's like, people always like rip on me for that, but I'm like, okay, man, like go play 99% of the board games that don't have apps. Let us who don't mind some apps in our games play our games with apps. It's not like you're missing out. You have other games you can play, you know, like or make it an option thing, right? But anyways.
Oh, Minion says younger than Yogi. Yogi no longer the baby.
And I call it now. Somebody will make a file or like a PDF or an app or something for this game that will, like an Excel sheet or a Google sheet or a printable something. Someone will make a solution for that, what I'm complaining about. Yeah. It's just the game's kind of new. It might already exist, but somebody will do it. Somebody out there will get annoyed like me and then will make some kind of tracking Google thing on your phone. You could just track status of things. So this might not age well. But
quite a bit of NPCs in here.
There's quite a bit of everything in there.
Yeah, there is.
There is a lot of everything. But yeah. I always forget Lands of Gelzir was... But they did it so well. It's like, I don't think of that in that game.
Well, when you were mentioning it, that's the first game that came to my head about just how it hid information. And like the cards you were saying where there's multiple options, right? They did the same thing. And as you progress through the card, it would just present more to you.
Yeah. And ruffling feathers, it's all good. I'm just messing around, guys. I love you all. I don't care your age. It's all good.
I don't care.
I'm only joking. But yeah, I just like always people picking on me for the like get your apps away from my board games. It's like, listen here. Back in my day, there were no apps in my board games.
I love apps in board games.
Yeah.
Love.
And in the future, it'll be something else that I'm complaining about. Back in my day, we used to just be able to get an app on a phone to help us play Lord of the Rings, the board game. And now you're like playing some virtual, like holographic 3D thing. No one's even buying cardboard and paper anymore for the board games. And I'm like, man, I remember when our games were only half digital. Back in my day.
Oh, gosh, that's funny.
Remember when we used to have it good and you could tap a roll of die on a screen? That was great. Now you don't even touch anything physical. It's all just like everything's floating. Die. You just connect yourself to the system. And everything's just controlled with your mind. You don't even like touch anything. No phone, no nothing. You just put on the headset and you're in.
So you have to hack in order to get weighted dice?
Yeah. Cheaters everywhere, of course. Cheaters everywhere. Yeah.
Mike, I was gonna say this to Rob. So Mike says the 3M tags, like you can tag it.
Yeah.
With like a little sticky. Or remember we have those circle things?
Yeah, I love spending like an extra $10, $15 to find solutions for my $300 board game. This is great. That's the extra upsell they didn't mention on the crowdfunding campaign. We put all this crap in the box. Unfortunately, because we put too much stuff in the box, we didn't have room for solutions. So you're gonna have to also add those on top of that on your own. And I remember that bothered me about Gloomhaven was the whole buying plano boxes and I'm cutting plastic and printing out custom labels to label where the monsters go. It's like, how come nobody thought about packaging this game? They only thought about getting it in your house. And it's like, oh yeah, that's FFG just started all that. Just fill the box with components and air and people will figure it out. At least we've moved on further from that. Most games have storage solutions built in now. It's kind of like we're spoiled, but yeah, they like create problems and then you have to go like to hobby stores to find solutions. It's like, or 3D printers and all this. And it's like, why? I still am gonna complain. But yeah.
Someone also said, I'm so sorry, I cannot remember who said it, but something about using the lids of these.
Yeah.
Lids of these?
Yeah, there are.
Yes, you could use the lid as if you wanted to sleeve.
Yeah,
but then I guess you can't put it away.
No, it's totally fine to add something else to take up more table space for this game. This game barely takes up any table space. Sure, let's add some more decks of cards on the table. Sure. Just kidding. That's what I need, is just more crap on the table. All right. All right, let's get to it. Yeah, if you're watching later, leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions for, and your name is not Mike James. Anybody else, if you have any suggestions, I will fully listen to you, except if your name is Mike James. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Yogi's right. Rob just doesn't want role play in his board game.
Nope. RPG in a box, I don't need the R, okay? Just give me the PG in a box, okay? I want only playing games, not role-playing games, okay?
Oh my gosh, we're not creative enough, even if it tells us directly on the card.
Yeah. All right. So, Mel, you want to talk about your character, or at least what you've chosen so far, and like, here, maybe read. You've chosen the dwarf class. Why don't you read us some dwarf knowledge? Or dwarf character, sorry. Your character is a dwarf.
So I've chosen the rogue, the path of shadow. I've chosen the clumsy as my title with the dwarf. The heart of the dwarves in the mountains and all their great cities are built within. Most dwarves belong to one city of the 5 clans. The importance of tradition, honesty, and family are central in the mountains mountains you once called home. Then what else did I choose? This one I think was given to me, right?
You
My
also
pathway?
chose the path of the shadow. Tell us more about the
did.
path of the shadow.
Never heard and rarely seen, these masters of stealth are ruthless in combat. That alone, I was like, I'm in. Equipped with a variety of traps and tools, rogues never shy away from using devious tricks. While hidden, rogues look for openings to strike fatal blows and slink back into the shadows. This was super interesting. There was another class I was debating between. I think it was the light, but this one just sounded cooler to me as just by reading all of the descriptions on each of the paths. This just kind of sounded interesting to me.
Behind the scenes story, I basically brought up the other 5 classes, like the ranger, the rogue, the whatever, the cleric, all this stuff. I brought them up to her, threw the boxes in front of her, and showed her these cards. These cards, I told her, read these cards. And then I gave her like the combat tutorials and like the little boxes and everything. I said, like, figure out based on this what you'd like to play. But then I stopped for a sec and she looked right at the Valor one, the like regular like melee guy with shields and swords.
Yeah.
And I went, okay. I'm already playing the boring usual, I always play like the elf ranger in every game. And like if you pick the sword and shield dude, we're just playing like the same stuff we always play. Let's make it, I'm sure a lot of people will pick that. And let's make it more interesting. So I took that one away. Then I saw her looking at this one. I was like, oh, you know what? A bunch of people on stream mentioned the rogue and like people like the rogue. People are playing with the rogue. We're mentioning in the comments and stuff. And I was like, maybe you shouldn't play with the rogue either because then maybe it's not as interesting. Like play with something new and different because the game is supposedly balanced no matter what we play. And like I told her, we play a lot of these kind of games and we play 2-player. And you can't usually 2-player pick the ranged character and a healer and be fine.
Because that was my first question to you.
Like 2 supporting kind of characters, or like, I can't play like a support character and she plays a support character. Yeah. We just get wrecked.
Yeah,
okay. Exactly. Most of the games are not balanced properly.
Yeah.
But people are telling me this game is. You can play anything. Pick anything, you'll be fine. Just some things will be a little more challenging. Some things might be a little easier. But just pick whatever party, play 1 character each, you'll be fine. Pick whatever class or whatever and character and you're good. So I told her that. So I was like, don't be afraid to pick a support role or something that looks interesting with magic or healing or whatever. Like, we'll still be fine, I think. And if we're not fine, then that shows that they lied. Like, people are lying. Like, it's not really balanced, or the publisher just trying to trick people and sell more copies. I don't know. And we'll do it for science. We'll play. So then I left her on her own, and somehow she grabbed this one anyway and kind of pulled it in. Was like, all right, I want to play this one. And I was like, oh, at least she's not playing the Valor sword and shield guy.
No, I didn't even read that one, to be honest.
Well, I said don't. You're not playing this one unless you really hate everything else. No. And it's like you can't play those.
But I really loved this one.
So yeah, that's what she did. So I tried, guys. I tried. If you wish we were playing in different classes, I tried, okay? Blame Mel, all right? That's all I'm trying to get at.
But my initial question to you was, what are you playing? Because I thought, like, that's
and I said, no,
how we coordinate games,
I said it on stream yesterday. I said, I told everybody. I was like, I told Mel, zip. Nope. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. Pick whatever you want to play for fun. Like, pick something. Doesn't matter. This is one of the rare games where we might actually get away with playing what we want to play, not just what seems like it will survive.
Yeah.
And make it through the early game,
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to do a few things. Most importantly, we have to choose a name for Mel's character because I didn't want to put her in front of the firing squad like I did with a pre-built name from the game.
Oh, that's not allowed?
Yeah, they were like, They were attacking me, man. I felt attacked.
I'm just like a no-name.
It made me feel stupid for choosing a pre-built name. Okay, so this is Mel's chosen name so far. It's a blank slate. Yeah. So anyone for like the next few minutes, if you have a funny name based on Mel's dwarf, scamp, the clumsy, rogue, you know, feel free if you're a fan of the channel to throw in anything from past games. There's always like hidden inside jokes about, you know, Mel doing crazy things in other games that may be questionable. Whatever you got to do.
Let's not bring up the past.
Yeah, well, that people always do. And those are the funniest names. It's like, oh,
I know, I'm just kidding.
I get why they're saying that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, please help me because I can't come up with a name on my own. And if you can't, then I'll have to take a pre-generated name.
Yeah. So feel free to throw names in the chat, and then maybe like we'll kind of figure out what the best like 3 or 4 of them are, and we'll put them in a poll, and then you guys can vote. So, and if only like one person comes up with a name, we'll take that name. No big deal. So no pressure. Take some time while we figure out other stats and things. And we'll also, with you guys, figure out which ability she's going to take.
I have some ideas.
Yeah.
But I would love some input from those either that have played this class or looked into this class.
So basically today is for science. This episode is to try out the drop-in, drop-out mechanics in a game. Not a lot of games have them, and when they do, they don't always work great. They're not always fun, and they're a little weird. We try them out in a lot of different games where we've added Kyle as a third player in the middle of a campaign, or we'll play, I remember Gloomhaven was the first game where like we really were doing it, where we'd have like our daughter play with us for one weekend, our buddy would sleep over, Justin, play with us for a whole weekend, and then disappear while Mel and I continued and played on different days by ourselves, and I played some solo on the solo scenarios, and Mel would try a solo scenario, and like we'd still just keep playing the game, all different player counts, and progressing the story and getting loot and leveling up and all that. It was kind of neat. And we've done other games where we played like, I don't know what game, maybe Massive Darkness or something too, where we like played a little bit, you and I. Descent, Legends of the Dark or whatever. We played that just 2-player, and then we had Kyle join us for the rest of the campaign because it had good jump in, jump out mechanics. So anyways, these are the rules to allow you to adjust the number of characters at any point in your campaign. We're going to test the drop in. And I'm leaving up to Mel after today.
If I drop out?
To honestly decide, is this game better for me to continue playing by myself till I get fed up with it? Or does she continue to join me in every single session beyond? Or a third option, does she just join on like weekends every now and then and play and see what happens? And I keep playing during the week. I don't know how long this game even is. I have no idea.
Yeah, like could we end it today?
I don't know. I'm already at level 2, which seemed kind of quick. And they say you might be able to get to level 10 before your campaign ends.
You might.
But I doubt I'm like 20% of the way through the game already. I don't think so.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I'm not sure. I have no idea. Because the open sandbox, you could do whatever you want. I could literally just walk around a circle, end the session. Walk around a circle, end the session. I can make this game last forever. The way it's going, who knows, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure. So we'll see how it kind of goes. But for now, we're going to drop Mel in today. So if you're interested in 2-player, how the drop-in mechanics work, we'll level Mel up, all that stuff. We'll play today as 2-player. We'll see how combat works with 2-player and all that stuff. And then we'll decide at the end of the stream or after the stream, Mel and I will discuss what we do. So we'll see how it goes.
Yogi, that name is slightly too long to fit on the.
Oh yeah, and it also the name has to fit on this.
On that, and I'm writing with like a paint marker.
So here's what we did with Rob Golos. Okay, so that's how many letters? That's 8. So let's say 9 letters max.
Yeah, I could probably make it another if I wrote a little bit smaller too.
Let's say 10 max letters. Okay.
So
including dashes and spaces and anything. Okay.
A little bit smaller, a little bit shorter than that.
Okay. It could also just be a symbol, you know?
Yeah.
The rogue formerly known as, and then just like a symbol. I don't know. Anyways. Okay, drop in. While at a guild location, you can create a new character to add to your party.
Are you at a guild location?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which I was going to rest at some town. I was like, oh, cool. Mel can join me at this town. Sounds super fun. I won't explore it. It's great. Let's do it. I found this new town. I was so hyped. And then I went and read the first line of this, and I was like, oh, crap. Now I got to wander back all the way through the map, go back to a guild location, which I've already been to many times. It's like, this is annoying. So I did that. Yeah, anyways. All right, so levels. the new character levels up from 0. So what we kind of did a weird hybrid thing. Okay. We played through Mel's quick start guide. We did the quick start guide with Mel. We kind of skipped through the adventuring stuff, sort of. We set up her character. We went through the steps of that. Hopefully we did all right. Got out her items. I gave her some of my straw items after her combat. She went through the scripted combat, and then we went through a combat off rails, fighting the practice dummy. I let her earn her gold from that, and the XP didn't matter because she's going to automatically rank up right now. So we didn't do her leveling up so that we could do it on stream. But she did gain like a couple gold.
Yeah, 2 golds.
I don't think she drew from her pathless chest either, but she's going to get to do that based on how many times I've drawn from the pathless chest. She's going to get to grab skills and automatically master 2 because I've already mastered 2, as you can see here. She gets to level up 1 at a time, learning new skills. We're going to go through that together. She gets to master new skills based on what I've done. And then XP, she automatically gets XP to match the rest of the party. So she's going to have 1 XP, which she does. We already gave her that. And then path items. She's going to draw path items. That's it. And then when you want to drop her out, we just don't pull her out the next time I go to play the game. That's it. And then we can play a few sessions if Mel's not with us. And then she can join us again later if she wants.
And I just upgrade to where you are?
Yeah, then you would just do the same steps again, is just quick level up to what's missing. You know, if I mastered a new skill, grab a new skill, you know, whatever. If I leveled up, level up. If I got a couple more XP, everyone's supposed to be at the exact same amount of XP. And we just, you know, spend the few minutes or hour setting up before the stream. Maybe we do it off stream next time if we do it. Or we turn this into a 2-player playthrough the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to playing only in the evenings, maybe some weekends, you know, some weeknights. Kind of just turn it into what we do in normal campaign games, where we play them a couple times a week, and just, you know, we'll play other games in between and that kind of stuff too. Like, I'll move on. I'm sure I'll have some solo games I can play back in this time slot, so it's all good. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. Okay, let's figure out the name. Out of these names, which ones are we putting in a poll here? Bernardo, greeting from the other side. Happy to be here. Hey, what's up?
Well, that was too long, so we said no to the yogis.
Okay, we're doing Mel Bomber.
Okay.
Which is a mix of some dwarf name from some other IP.
Okay.
Melmley?
I think that's
supposed to be Gimli. Like I get it. Yeah.
I like it.
Melmley. Okay, nice one, Cohen. Melgrit. And we can put one more.
I think we can take, we're not going to actually choose.
Oh, Gimeli.
Oh.
Nice, Monica.
That's
I like
the
that.
reverse.
Hold on. Gimeli. Yeah, Mel's in the middle. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we might erase Melmley. That's out because they're too close together.
Okay.
They're both for the same reason.
Stabby McStaffy's too long. Sorry, Yogi. Melonheart?
Sure. Melonheart's it. Melonheart's in.
And you guys get to decide.
All right. Name Mel's dwarf
rogue.
Okay, I'll put the poll in the chat if you're watching live. Go ahead and vote which out of those 4 names we lock in. Mel's going to paint it on her little player card thing. Did I get it? Oh, I get it to you. Yeah. And we'll leave that poll up for a few minutes while we continue on to other stuff.
Would you want to start with this?
Let's level you up. So you are going
to,
right here. So Mel gets to basically jump up to level 2, but we'll do 1 level at a time. So she's going to cross off level 1. Then she's going to pick out of these stats whether she goes to 5 HP from 4, 2 MP from 1, or 3 SP from 2. And the beauty is, keep in mind, since we have the advantage right now, you get to go 2 levels automatically. You don't have that worry of like, oh, I could take MP now, but I really want more stamina. You could just take MP, and then you'll still get to 3 stamina no matter what. Or you take stamina, go to 3, and then on level 2, you pick MP, for example, and you'll jump right up to 3. So there is ways here you can probably get more stats for your money, quote unquote.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So yeah, like I wouldn't go to HP 5 if you could just go to HP 7 if you only want one of these, and like think of it like that way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
That's how I would game the system, but take what you feel like you need. Like if you're looking at your skills, and the cool part is like you take this, but you also can look at these skills to see what they need. Because some of these skills you might take might care more about SP or MP or something, and or an attribute, because you're also going to get to take one attribute down here. And the crazy part is Mel picked the dwarf based on the ability.
Yeah.
What she didn't do was pick it based on what weapons she has on her class.
No, I didn't even realize until I started combat.
And I asked her, do you want to switch from a dwarf? But then she thought about it and she was going to do it. And then I showed her, well, actually, because you have the advantage right now of leveling up 2 levels, you can pick dexterity, which you have none of, but your weapons require, or charisma or whatever her other weapon requires. She has 0 in both of those stats. That's not good to be fighting with weapons that you have 0 in the stats, right? But the beauty is she can just right now jump in the game and pick like 2 dex and 3 charisma. Now she's like caught up, no problem. So this whole catch-up mechanic is actually really neat. And like, I don't think you should stress too much about which character you take with your class, because you could just level up to like undo that. And yeah, you have some strength that you will get tested on. Like we've seen intelligence and charisma. I've seen those in the game test you on those randomly, or endurance.
Oh, okay.
There's definitely lots of endurance tests I've done that are not related to my weapons or just related to story stuff. So you will have those already, so it's fine. So as you're leveling up, you can just like kind of, and maybe you change your weapon, and all of a sudden you have a weapon that needs strength.
Something else, yeah.
You could just level up and boom, grab, and you catch right up. You could be at like going to level 4 and go boom, all of a sudden you're 5 strength out of nowhere. So yeah, so
my thoughts in the top part of health, MP and SP, my thought was to choose SP going to 3. And then MP going to 3 at the second level. And the reason for that is because in my practice combat, I was like looking at what I needed to pay for things. So my backstab I need to pay with MP. Well, right now I only have 1, meaning I can only do that 1 time. I also need to pull my traps back, spending SP. So I felt like my stats were like a little bit low in both of those. Like I would like to increase those. And I think to get the most efficient, I would choose SP first, put that to 3.
Also keep in mind, like you will draw from your path box, and you might get a better version of traps or a sword that I would assume uses the same stats, but they could be different.
True. Well, it would be the same.
But it is going to be random no matter what. So
yeah.
you do what you do.
Yeah. So I think.
So we'll do one at a time.
Do one. So I'm going to choose SP first.
So mark the level at the top.
Okay, so then I do this like that.
Yeah.
And then this fills automatic?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I get to choose one of my attributes.
Actually, when you level up, everything I think refreshes.
Oh, okay.
So you get like this missing MP, I think.
Okay. Alrighty, then.
Pretty sure.
I think I want to do. I need Dex. Dex is a lot more of my fight.
But the same thing,
yeah.
So what do you have Dex for? Dex is for this. Dex is for this.
And
charisma for this.
And for this.
Oh, and this is Dex.
Yeah.
So Dex is really important. So can you get more Dex by doing it on the level up 2 or the level up 1?
Level up 2.
So maybe wait to get Dex.
So I'll do charisma first.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if it's less required ish.
Okay.
But like maybe you use your traps a lot, so this charisma is really important. I don't know, but I would do the one you need the most, probably.
All right. So now
you're going to change this. So add that in there with your little bucket of tokens.
Need to adjust. Oh, charisma 2.
Oh, Christopher's saying going to level 7 HP and level 2 is juicy.
It is.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
It is.
But if she's hitting on her weapons more often, getting higher hits and killing enemies quicker, she maybe doesn't have to worry about the HP problem as much. A good defense is a great offense. Like I don't know.
Okay. So
or the best defense is a good offense. Maybe applies. I don't know if it does in this game.
So now I get to level. I do the same thing for level 2. In this one, I'm going to choose MP. Putting my MP to 3. Okay, and then I'm going to choose Dex, putting my Dex to 3. So that's what my card looks
Bernardo,
like
is that like a solo mode or something for that game you're talking about? I'm not sure what that is.
Dex of 3. Okay.
But I appreciate the suggestion. Okay.
So that is what my card looks like now.
Okay, and you updated your board to match?
I did.
Now we also, part of leveling up is grabbing a skill. So can you grab the cards out of your box that relate to the following skills?
Yes, I have.
And we could do a poll for this too after we lock the poll down for Mel's name. Actually, maybe I should put the poll up first. So as we're reading through these, so if you can grab all 4 of these, look for these names and grab them out of your...
I have them.
Oh, okay.
I was reading them this morning.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So let's find out the name for Mel's character. Thank you all for voting. 72% want Gimli. Gimli. Guy Malai.
So it was G-I-N. Okay.
Not even close. Yeah, that was an awesome one, actually. I like that. Sorry, Cohen. Cohen's was amazing until I read that one. Then it was like, Monica, I was just had you. I'm sorry. But both are awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
I like to do it twice, so I'm just going to let that dry for a second. Okay.
Then I'm going to put a poll in there for choose Mel's first skill. I think they're called skills. Abilities. I don't know.
Skill. Yeah.
Okay.
Shadow Step. Vicious Blade. Poison. Oh, sorry.
Poison.
And Pickpocket.
Pickpocket.
2 of these sounded better to me.
Okay, I put the polls in live chat. Let's look at what these abilities are. So this is Shadow Step, which is related to your... So it's a blue. So this is part of her stealthy side of her character. So she could have stuff related to stealth, blades, tricks, vials, or tools. Okay, so that's just like a little flavor. So Shadow Step costs 1 cube. So it probably is done once per combat. Oh no, yeah, and if to refresh it is out of combat and it costs a stamina.
Yeah, okay.
But you could spend this cube. It's a free action, so you don't have to waste a token on it, to move 2. If you're hidden, you get to move 4 instead, and you treat difficult borders as normal. So this helps you like drop your traps or get the hell out of there or whatever you got to do for free once in a combat, but costs you stamina later to refresh it. Might be nice and flexible for Rogue. What else you got in the poll? Vicious Blade is related to the blades side of your character. You must be holding a dagger to use a skill, which I'm sure you will.
I have.
It costs 2 combo, so it's not something you usually do right away in combat, but we are playing 2 players. So maybe I go first in combat, I generate some combo for you, and then you get to do this like right away. Who knows? But it allows you to damage each foe in the shown squares accordingly. So basically you can hit with 1 attack any enemy that is orthogonally adjacent to you. And if you were hidden when you activate it, it's also piercing damage, so you totally rip through their armor if they have any armored hit points. Okay, then we have Poison related to your vials. This is cost 1 cube, so that limits you to basically do it like once, or I don't know how many cubes are on these things because we didn't punch them out yet. Some of these might be 2 uses or whatever. But you place the poison token instead of a normal wound token. We have poison token somewhere in this little tub over here.
In here.
It's just 1. Oh, so it's probably only 1 cube, maybe?
Yeah, there's only 1.
So you place the poison token instead of a normal wound, and then it's delayed. When the poisoned foe activates, you get to deal an aimed point of damage. So you pick any little hit point you want, and it also pierces through armor to a grid point adjacent to the poison token. So any side of that. So it slowly spreads through them. Think of like you hit them with a poison dagger, and then it slowly spreads through their body.
Makes sense.
Adjacent to that kind of thing, you know. And then refreshing it costs a mana point or magic point while out of combat. And then we have Pickpocket, which is related to your stealth also line, hence it's blue. We got Shadow Step and Pickpocket are also blue. And you can see...
it says it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could also see we could take into account the next steps, which we probably should do, because if you're like, oh, I really want this or really want this, then you should probably take this. But we can just go as we go, even though you're about to level up 2. And just keep in mind, like, obviously, what you take now doesn't mean you have to take the next one in the line. You could take a different one of these. So one of these 4 might, or 2 of these 4 might get taken right now.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to go to the next level here.
That's what initially.
But you really should kind of like look there and go backwards. But that's a lot of like information. You haven't really played the game too much yet, so
yeah.
Even I'm confused by that. I just rather just pick something on the fly. Like, who cares? Make it work. You can always relearn and re-switch out things later, because it even says once you get to level 4, you'll have more skills than you can even fit on your board. So you'll have to make some choices there. So true. Some that you've learned early, you might not use anymore. And switch up based on what's going on. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you fight a boss that's like, or a fight that you flee from and you're like, oh, I should have had this skill and that equipped would be way better for that fight. And you might do that when you come back, you know? So this is an action while adjacent to the highest initiative foe. Check dexterity, 20. Plus 10 if you're hit. So you have to roll and try to get more than 20. So obviously if your dexterity is 3, you need to roll 17 plus. But if you're hidden, it's only like a 7 plus. And then on success, place 1 K from the supply on the foe's AI card, which you gain when you loot the foe. Max 1 pickpocketed K. Okay, on a failure, so if you fail on that roll, they catch you and their threat goes up, and you're no longer hidden anymore.
I didn't love this one.
No, it's kind of silly.
Yeah, it's like situational too.
But this is the thing, it's like, you look at that, you're like, okay, I could take that, maybe get extra money here, money there, but it might literally lead to like dying because you lose your head and you get hit and then you're like in a bad spot.
Yeah.
If you don't do it right. And it might be something you don't want to do until later once you build up your dex higher on a higher level too, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But then it leads to bandolier, which is a tool, and bandolier, who knows what that does. But I'm just saying, for example, you might be like, oh, I really want bandolier. So then you need to take pickpocket just to get that. But we don't have to do it that way. So feel free to vote in the chat and pick whichever one of these. Even just by name, you can kind of get what they kind of do. So Shadow Step just allows her to be more sneaky with her hidden stuff. Maybe get some hits where she shouldn't. Maybe get away when she needs to. Get in, get out.
Yep.
Vicious Blade obviously allows her to do more to multiple. When we have fights with multiple enemies, she may be able to hit 2 or 3 enemies at once. And Pickpocket just leads to maybe more money gain. And then Poison is like to slowly kill. And that might be nice on like a bigger boss enemy too that has a lot more hit points. You might be able to poison it and slowly kill it even while we're not focused on it. And yeah. And if there's 2 here that are like, we really want, remember, we're going to put another poll up for level 2 and she can pick any of these and then plus the one that is leading into. So we'll have a new 4th option based on what is chosen. So feel free to vote what you would pick, what you would want to see played with, what you think might be fun, or what you just like the color of, or the style, like what you think fits the right build of a rogue. Do you want your rogue to be more stealthy, better with blades, better with vials, tricks, tools, whatever, that kind of stuff? Obviously, we don't have tricks or tools available right now. That's something you pick up over time, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to move further into the Too Many Bones mat here. I mean, the abilities mat here. Remember, what gets picked now is going to add a new option after, so we'll do a second poll. So I don't think right now you're picking like the top 2 get chosen. We're just pick the top 1. And we're doing 1 level at a time. And then we'll also, what we'll do is, we'll do it in order where we do like level 1, where you'd level up 1 row of stuff, 1 ability, all that stuff, or 1 attribute. We'll pick 1 skill, and then you'll draw from your path loot for 1 item. See what you get. And then that might change
I already did this on here though, is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But the next level, that's fine. That's what we do first anyway.
Yeah, okay.
But it might change what you see.
Okay.
We can change it, it's no big deal. Okay, let's close the poll and choose. Thank you everyone for getting involved. 40% want Vicious Blade.
Perfect.
36% wanted Poison. Shadow Step 11, Pickpocket 11.
Vicious Blade is one I wanted.
Oh, you didn't say it though, did you?
I did not.
Okay, no manipulating.
I did not. I did not.
No manipulation, okay. All right, so what you're gonna do is punch the bottom half of that. Leave it on the table. You just punch the bottom half of the token in.
Like
push hard down on the bottom. Yep.
Oh.
And then pull it out.
I'm afraid to break it.
This is triple layer cardboard, Mel. Remember when we used remember when we used to be slumming back in the days? We played like Scythe with 2-layer cardboard and we thought we were better than everyone else. Well, now we've actually gone up even another level. So this is what's called board gamer inflation, where things just, you know, get better and more premium over time, and then the other classes of people drop down as the rich get richer. So we're now officially better than everyone because we're playing with triple layer cardboard. So anyone who's still playing like dual layer cardboard games, I feel bad for you. So yeah, welcome to the upper class, Mel. Okay.
Thank you. I enjoy being here. Okay, so this just goes in here. Okay.
And now, because I have mastered a skill already, I've actually mastered 2, you automatically get to flip it.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just did it automatically.
So normally you would take it and it would go to your board like this, and then you would put a token. You need to put one of those little hex tokens in here. You would put a yellow one in to show that you've learned it. No, they're in this little bin here, probably that one.
These? No. It's here.
They're hex shaped. They're little. They're the only size of this. Yeah. So you would put a yellow one in, but you're going to put a check mark in on the opposite side to show that you've learned this. This is how we save your progress.
Oh, I see.
And then when you just slide this back into that little slip case. Okay. So you've mastered this because she gets to actually master the amount of skills I've mastered, which I've also mastered too. So you would not need to do this little fun side quest in a match or in a fight. But it would let you automatically flip it, fire it off with no action, no cost required. That's what this lightning means. So yeah, but you get to start with Vicious Blade, which is a 2 combo, requires a dagger. Each target takes an aim shot plus a shot next to it. You get to hit all 4, and if hidden, that damage is also piercing.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yep. Okay. And if you're not sure, what do I roll? What am I testing against? All that would be explained on your reference card on the back here. Can I use a skill if there aren't foes in all of the marked squares? Sure. Can I use a skill if I'm required to hit each foe that occupies one of the shown squares? Yes. You must hit each foe in the shown squares. Does this count as an attack for purposes of losing hidden? Yes. An attack is an attempt to deal damage. By the time wounded weak points resolve, you will no longer be hidden. Does bonus damage, like criticals, ranger's mark, etc., also gain piercing? No. There you go.
Okay, I'll add it with these. Thank you.
All right.
So now it's those plus this one?
Plus impale.
I don't know where my cards are.
Oh, probably right here.
Oh, yeah. I'll just put this impale up while you're doing that. So this is a free action, but it does cost 2 combo. I make a basic kunai attack, paying a cube normally. If you are hidden, when activating this skill, remain hidden after the attack. Oh, that's very good. That's very good.
So because you have the requirement on the left of the black arrow, you can take this. It only has 1 arrow going into it. So you already meet the requirements, which this card tells you all the requirements, everything right on it. Prerequisites, Vicious Blade. So you must have a throwing knife on your belt to use this skill. Costs 3, basic attack, paying normal. I know you just read this, but I wasn't listening.
Okay, that's okay.
If you were hidden when activating the skill, remain hidden. Remain hidden.
So it's pretty much, it lets you use the kunai and then you stay hidden after the attack, which is pretty good.
And again, we still have this as an option. We don't need to rush to the second row automatically. We could make it so you have more movement. Again, this is in the poll. We could have it so you can poison enemies with your mana points. And we can have you pickpocketing if you want to gain money. That is definitely lame. Yeah.
What, the pickpocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want the pickpocket, but if they give it to me, I'll
But if you ever wanted to get to Catalyst, whatever that is, you would need to have this and these to unlock that. And I assume since they say you could get to level 10 before the end of the campaign, we're going to hit like level 8 or 9 if you kept playing. So you're only going to get like 8 or 9 of these, I would assume, unless there's some other things that happen later in the campaign that let you get others. I don't know. But you only can ever have a max of 5. You already are going to have 4 by the end of this. So yeah, feel free to vote in the live poll I put up there and choose the second skill Mel will master. So basically pickpocketing for money, impaling, shadow stepping around, or poisoning enemies. And yeah, you can put that back in your box. You don't really need it.
Oh, Bernardo, see you later.
Bernardo, have a great day. Work, work, work. Have a good time. Take care. You too.
Oh, yeah. Do I get treasure? I think, yeah, Rob said I get something from here, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So
how do
what?
you draw that without?
Yeah, I know. They're lame. Okay, so I'm going to just look at it without you seeing. So there are 3 long items and 2 small items.
Okay.
And that's it. And you're allowed to feel in there and kind of like feel for a long... I have like big hands, so this is super annoying. I can't even like pick things up without like dumping them.
Yeah.
So I can't actually do the grabbing blindly. But, and the box is already like ripped from just like shipping. But anyways, you can just reach in, grab whatever, or I can just lay them out off screen. You can roll a die. Like,
So in your opinion,
but the idea is
to choose, right, a small.
you can pick the size. So if you want a small and you have no idea what they are, a small or a long, obviously you can look and like, oh, I have daggers and traps. I'm going to assume that you're probably going to get a new dagger or a trap if you take a long. And a small, you might get like a new knife or some armor or some cool backpack thingy or some. I don't know.
I see.
But that's kind of like, think of how the sizes are on your stuff. It could be something that even sits in your inventory that like is like something that you could use from your backpack. Maybe. Who even knows?
There's a spider.
Who even knows?
Sorry, there's a spider on my board.
Awesome.
I will take.
Sorry, you get this.
Oh, I got some pants.
They couldn't hear probably us there, but I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. But I just pulled all 3 long items out. Mel picked a number 1 through 3. I didn't look at what they were. So she actually gets some patched tall boots.
Look at these pants.
Is her first item out. They obviously take up both bottom slots. This is cool. I didn't know this was even a thing. So they can block 2 points of damage twice before you have to repair them. So
these... Do these go in my inventory?
Or back in your box. Either way, we can sell them when we're out of town next. How much are they worth? Like anything on the back?
1.
Oh, okay. So we can sell that for 1. And then I'm going to put the other tokens back in her box blindly without looking at them. And just keep that off to the side somewhere. We're going to need it in a second.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically you have 2 long items are left in there and 2 small items.
Okay.
You know, just simulating the digging around, whatever. But let's find out your next ability. You already did your leveling up on the back?
I did.
Okay. And you updated your stats.
Yes.
All this is updated based on what you need to do. Okay. Let me close the poll. Thank you for voting. Let's see. 31% say shadow step.
That was my other one.
I think that was the right call. I was like, impale looks so juicy, but it's like, you can get that later. Like, movement, I think, is the key part of that, the like dynamic there of a rogue, to have a little bit extra of that. And leading into the hidden stuff equals like things like impale later will be even better.
You guys are awesome. These are the 2 that I wanted. So
nice.
I got what I wanted.
Great minds think alike.
Yep.
Okay, so you can put these back in your little tuck box for later. And then this, you need to punch the bottom of whichever one that was, and then also put the same little token in. And you can automatically flip it and master it because you're matching what I've mastered. So it would be the player in the party who the least amount of mastered, you would match that. But since there's only one other player in the party.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. That's what it looks like. So it's like a one-time turn during combat, but to refresh it, you need to spend stamina outside of combat. And there you go. And you can organize these however the hell you want. If you want to keep your free things together and your actions together and whatever you want to do, do whatever you want. Okay. And then
I get another one.
Yes, you do.
I'll do a small this time.
Small. Okay, let me pull them out. I'll put them in my hands without looking at what they are. And you choose.
This one. Oh, it updates my kunai.
From what was it called?
Practice.
A practice one to now a rusty one.
Oh, but my range is farther. 4 range, and it
that
hits
attack
one more.
pattern is pretty cool.
Yeah, it hits 1 more space. Stats are still the same on the
Also,
rest
a
of it.
correction from yesterday's stream. I misunderstood this. Since I have a bow that has 2 numbers, like a range, like 3 to 4 range away, I thought this, when I was reading one of the bosses we were looking at yesterday, had a 4 like this. I thought it only hit exactly 4 range away, no closer, no further. But what this means when you see it like this, it basically means 0 to 4. When they leave out the, when they only put one number, they just leave out the 0 dash part. Like, I wish they put 0 to 4, or like, you know, even though that's what it was, but they just wanted to save some space or shorthand or whatever. So this means up to 4 range away. So this can be also treated as a melee weapon too, basically, even though it's ranged. So just, yeah. Basically.
That's cool. Oh my gosh, this game is so fun already. I haven't even started.
I was the same way as you once, Grasshopper. And then I cut 8 fingers trying to manage the maps and the cards. And then I took an arrow to the knee.
I think I'm done with this, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I was all excited setting up my character. Ooh, playing like inventory Tetris here on my boards. This is fun. Leveling up. It's always fun. And then you start adventuring and you're flipping tiles and maps and playing librarian. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, have we done everything?
I believe so.
You have the XP to match me.
Yes.
You have your 2 or mastered skills. You've updated the little green check marks in your things.
Yes.
You checked off the stuff off the back of your card. You got your path items. I already traded you some of this. I thought to be funny, I obviously kept the better cuff I got earlier.
Oh, I see.
And I thought to be thematic. Yeah, of course, I gave you the trash. But what I thought was, as a archer, I thought it'd be funny if I just kept one arm of stuff. You know, like I got my one arm protected while the other one's like for shooting arrows. So I kept one half of stuff and then gave Mel the other half to be funny, but also gave her the one buckler. I also gave her the helmet instead, since she's going to be more melee than I will be. I thought she'd be more protected. I also gave her the one knapsack that I was holding on to for her. I took the flying fish one. I don't know, they're basically the same. We can use them on each other or on ourselves, no big deal. And what else?
You gave me the moist glove as well.
Yeah. Basically the other hand.
Oh, yeah.
And now you just got new pants and stuff, so that's all good. I can't use any of that stuff.
You want anything back because I got the pants?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Well, you're going to get hit more anyway, so it's like I probably should also give you this glove.
But will I, though, if I go hidden more? It's hard to say,
I don't
right?
know,
I don't know
sure.
yet.
And we don't even know where the enemy's going to hit you. It's like, even if they might hit you on any of these spots, it's like, I could pick the right glove or the left glove. It's literally 50-50 kind of thing, so who cares? Yeah. It's also random. I just want to fill up this whole thing very much as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, I think yours being filled more is a better idea.
Thank you. Oh, and I need something here,
I gave Mel the loudest equipment. Yeah. She can't stay hidden very long because she's walking around clanking all over the place.
Yeah, I am.
Her damp and moist gloves are dripping all over the place. I know. Moist. And,
why do they name it that?
I know. I thought it was funny. I had a good laugh. Damp glove.
Oh.
Let's see. Does it even have a description? Yeah. A thick leather glove that someone forgot to store in a dry place.
Is that the same as what this says?
I don't know.
Great for training, but with very little ventilation is the moist glove. Okay.
Matthew has that exact pair of pants.
Oh, do you?
Oh, that's sick.
They're kind of cool.
Tall boots.
It's actually more boots with like jorts.
Exactly the ones Matthew wears. I saw him at Gen Con. I think he was wearing the same thing. Some jorts with some tall leather boots. Yep, sounds exactly like what he was dressed like. Saw him walking down the busy streets of Indianapolis, whistling at sailors walking by. I don't know what was going on, but
gosh, that's funny.
You'll have to ask Matthew all about that. I don't really know what was happening. But anyways.
I think we're ready.
Yeah?
I think so.
I'm all about jorts. Okay. How do we play this game again? I don't remember.
I don't know. You're leading.
Yeah. Okay. So where we left off previously on Rob's gaming table, we stopped at the Exiles camp, which is basically where we started the game. I've done some wandering around and done some things and seen some people. I've gone to places that have zoomed in map things to explore, but I didn't even explore them yet. And I kind of progressed my little elf. I have like oh yeah, what's your thing?
Oh, should we have gotten that out from...
Does anyone remember how I got my elf little scarred hand adventure happening? Should you already have that from the quick start guide? I don't remember.
Oh, did we skip that?
Crap. I don't remember.
If you have do you have my little book over there?
Or maybe you got it in like the first town. No, I don't have. It would be in the quick start guide, not your fighting guide thing.
Oh, which I don't have here.
Yeah. Because maybe I skipped something that you should have done. Or maybe it was just talking to an NPC at the first place.
Oh, from setup?
It was from Quick Start Guide, right? Yeah. We kind of skipped some of the stuff. We're like, oh, we'll do all that on stream. And I bet it was in there, like when you were setting up your stuff. Okay, I'll find it. Because, yeah, we need to make sure you have your thing, because that might help us figure out what we're doing. Let's see if I can find it. What was it related to? Was it when you created your character? Is it tied to... It didn't tell you to grab a key when we were setting up, I don't think.
No. Oh, I think
it was character creation? Oh. Do you have your purple little sleeve?
It was...
Oh, no, it would have been from popping out your guy. Check your card. Where's the one that... you probably put it back in the box. The one that had the... related to your human.
Related to my human.
It has... Oh, your level up one. Yeah, this one.
Oh, it's probably on the bottom there.
No.
Character skill there.
The rules card, character skill, those are tied together, and then character token. No. No, I'm not sure. Hold on.
It's not on that.
It was from in the first town, right? Okay. Okay, Jose's saying it's not in the quick start guide. It was from the event in the first town. Cody has said you can just go ahead and grab it from the active box when you create a new character.
So what number is yours? Are they like numbered? And like...
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's the key dash... Yeah. Okay, I know. They're at the back of the key thing. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I did see that there are a whole bunch of lettered ones. But you're a dwarf, right? What are the dwarf letters? DW maybe?
They were D...
DW?
Yeah, DW. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we found a key DW you should start with, a braid of your hair, intricately knotted, a stone the size of your thumbnail is woven into the knot. It's cracked in half. Keep this card secret from other players. Oh, crap.
Oh,
damn it.
You can't see my hair.
Guys, pretend that never happened. Okay. And then that's it. So you just keep this with you.
And something.
And at some point you'll run into somebody that says, do you have a dwarf in the party holding key DW or whatever? Oh, okay. But this is related to something. And you might be able to, let's say, talk to an NPC at our current location who you might be able to look up and find which hex on the map, which hex we need to go to. That's what I did. I cheated. I went and talked to an NPC, and you tell him this, and he'll tell you which hex you need to go to progress this, which is cool. Nice. Yeah.
That's cool.
So they respect your time a little bit. A little bit. Oh, yeah. It was missed from the drop-in rules.
Oh. Well, thank you. We got it. We got there.
Yeah, because I guess if you dropped in, if there's another guild location I don't know, if you dropped in at that place and we had to talk to an NPC all the way over here just to do that, that kind of sucks, right?
Oh, yeah, that would break it, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we have that. I mean, we can just investigate the first place and you can find out if you want. But I also have...
But if you have a path or something that you're on, I'll just see if I...
Yeah, we're at a guild thing, so you can't really look at the trade board or anything, but I went ahead and at the previous trade board, I swapped out the job I was working on to pick this job, which I thought might be good because I've already fought rats and fought them multiple times and with their boss. So this basically, I think, is the same rats we fight, like foe 4 and 5, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that you're level 2, and I think they were only like level 1 or 2, it could be good practice for us to try out fighting and also earn some loot and complete our job. I've not been able to complete a job yet because I couldn't find the location of my previous job to find some wildflowers or something. So yeah, so this is what I'm thinking is like something we could do today, if we do.
Yeah, I would love to experience a fight.
Yeah, or we just go push your story thing by going and talking to an NPC at our location. Or we could just leave this location. Like we can just ask them while we're here. I think it's like NPC 161. But I can check. Yeah, might as well do it while we're here. So basically all we're doing, we'll just do it kind of quick and shorthand. Yeah, NPC 161. So basically it's like loose, we're here, we just choose to explore. I put out the map, we zoom in on the little village here, and we're gonna just move and talk to this dude. And you're gonna talk to him. I'm gonna wait over here and watch our back while you're doing that, just to make sure nothing sneaks up and tries to kill us.
161?
Yeah, NPC 161.
Okay. Are they
in the active? So.
Oh, okay.
It would be, so the first tells you behind the first is active, behind the second is inactive.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's not there. 161.
Do you know which way he was when you pulled him out?
That way.
So I've already got the art role-playing token.
Okay.
Okay, so again, but we'll put him back the same way. Okay, so you talk to him, an elf sits cross-legged in the grass as he sketches his leather-bound journal. You can tell by his pin that he's on the path of inspiration. Greetings, fellow guildmate. I am Sestasin. If you're looking for something or someone, I might be able to help locate what you're looking for. Another thing with the role-playing points, how we're going to handle it, we're not going to do it the exact same way it's done in the book. We will just take role-playing points and just give them to whoever needs them in our party. I'm not going to worry about, am I the one reading the card, or is Mel the one reading the card? I'm basically going to be reading all cards pretty much. So if I am already full, I'll just give it to you. We're not going to keep track of, wait, how many cards have I read? How many cards should I, is this you reading a card or me? None of that stuff. Okay. So do you want to ask about the guild or locate something? Okay. So we flip it and we read locate. Again, you can see everything else on the cards. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. Indeed, I practice the art of scrying using the maps of the regions I chart. I am able to determine locations of people or items of import. I just charge a small fee for my services. So we can pay one.
I have one.
You have one, so pay one if you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this. You can say, I'm good.
Sure, I'll do it.
So pay that one, throw it back in the little tub there. And then you're going to choose a key you have. And actually, if you can draw event card 526.
Event 526. Oh,
and so here's this, use the scry code with the two charts below. So you're looking at this. So you find your key. What's your key?
DW.
I think DW. So here's your symbols. And then based on those 4 symbols on this table, we need to find which hex based on which letter and number.
It's like the R in the first one.
So it's D, right? D on the first table.
Yeah. Oh, I see how.
And then
yeah.
4 on the next table, right? Right? D4, everybody? We're good with that? Anybody at home want to tell me that's wrong? You might be right. So let's say it's D4. And if you couldn't find it on here, you would get your money back.
Oh.
And also there's another card to look at. I guess there's even more keys in the game, obviously. But these are probably the early game ones, you know?
Yeah.
So you could use this guy, like we could look up keys all day. It's just going to cost you to do it.
Okay.
Or you just wander around trying to find it yourself.
So then D4, what do I do then now?
You're going to put that back.
Okay.
It just tells you here, after scrying, look, this symbol here means just put it back where you found it, basically, the event card. And then this guy you can also put back with this at the top on the right versus this on the top on the left. This tells me he still has a role-playing point we can get. This one tells me he doesn't. Because we will talk to this guy again in the future. I've already talked to him multiple times. Wasn't it D4 where you needed to go?
Oh, it's a location D4. I see. It's not
on here, D4.
I see.
And yes, that's the farm where I went.
Oh.
So I've already been there, and I was completing stuff that was related to another quest line I was doing. And that's also where, just so you know, I found a family of ants hiding here that are able to swap farm animals with their owners and make cows into people and people into cows or something.
Okay.
And I went and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and shrunk down to go into some tomato patch and find these ants and confront their mother, and then I ran like a big chicken because I wasn't the level yet to really fight them. I don't know if that's what your story is related to. I don't remember if they were asking, maybe something did ask if there was a dwarf in the party. And I can't remember. I feel like something did ask me that. And at the time I never thought I might be playing with Mel tomorrow who might be a dwarf. I didn't even realize, I didn't even think you'd pick a dwarf. That's funny. But yeah. So maybe we can do that without fighting the ants or not. I don't remember.
Is that on the way to what you were talking about for the job?
No, the job is literally right next to us at Red Gold Junction. We could just go do that.
We could do that first.
And not worry about this, but at least we know.
Yeah.
But you don't have to deal with it right away. We at least now know D4 is where it's at, and we could just do other stuff until you feel like. But those ants were definitely level, I think the ants were level 2, but the mom was like level 3 or something.
Oh.
Yeah, she was, the mother ant was big and scary. So we might want to like go there when we're like one more level higher maybe.
Yeah.
So let's go earn some XP other ways maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, let's go towards your job. That's fine.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we basically lift these off. We go back to the little token here, whatever. And we put this away. And I put it away face up because I've cleared that map already. And then we're back to here where our party marker is. And then we're just going to travel. So I put the little token halfway in between. I draw the top card of the travel deck. Oh yeah, I'm traveling via road, which is the symbol of the little street signs there.
Okay.
Little cross signs. But unfortunately, we have a growling stomach. You're so hungry, you need to take a break and eat some food. So, hunger. Each exile pays a stamina, then you discard the card. If we don't pay, we become famished. So we flip over the backpack token. If any of our travel tokens are flipped, we're not allowed to go to any new locations, but we still get to keep going. So we can literally travel to anything we can see as many times as we want. The only problem is, if you keep pushing it, you'll eventually be adding cards to the threat deck, which will be a trouble later in fighting, probably. And if there is no copies of that to add, eventually you'll start losing health. So they've made it so you can't just travel infinitely. Eventually that is like your timer, or getting into fights and losing stats are your timer to then have to go rest. And when you rest, you could save.
Okay.
So that's kind of how a session is driven, I feel, in this game, is like by either traveling extensively or fighting extensively or a mix of both. And then eventually you return and go save your session by resting at a town or a guild. And sometimes that costs money. So
yeah. You
yeah.
have to spend an SP?
Or we could switch that backpack. But the problem is, once we flip the backpack, if we draw another hungry one, if it's already flipped, then we have some trouble. So
I'll spend one.
So we spend 1 stamina. Great. I need to up my stamina. I only have 2. And I have a knapsack that can help me. But yeah, it's like that's one thing I feel short on. Okay, so that just goes in the travel discard pile. And now we're officially in the Ragul Junction. And this is the job. Rabid rats are attacking travelers along the road. Help keep their population in check. To start it, travel to Ragul Junction, then shuffle travel card 90, which you need to pull out of the box there, TRV, and it'll be...
Oh,
it's probably in the inactive because we've never had it before.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
It was like this.
Yeah, so we're going to put a sleeve on it.
Oh, and it becomes a travel card.
I'm not even going to look at it, but yeah, we're going to shuffle it in with the top 2 of the travel deck.
I'll do it and then I'll let you...
Yeah, whatever. And I think it's like you want to travel via these to make it happen, is what it's kind of telling you here, I think. So it's just like a travel card. You flip it, and based on the symbol, things might or might not happen. So here, you just put it on the travel deck. Okay. And then there's hunt, place big 90, party on. I don't know. So whatever. This is what we're trying to do. So we're just going to travel on and do other stuff. I don't know.
We don't have to do that now?
No, it just added that. So now we're looking for them. So, and I think to progress it, we need to travel to find them.
Oh, I see.
And that was just us starting the process.
Okay.
So it might not even happen today if we don't flip that card and get the right option. So like if we started roaming around here in the grass, we would never get that option because when we flip those cards, we'd only look at the grass option, you know, so we got to travel by road or we got to travel by fields or whatever the...
Well, then maybe do we go down towards D4?
So we put it in between. We're traveling via road, so we flip top card and we look at the road option. Dripping rain. We're road. It's difficult. We're frustrated. So like we got to spend a stamina. This is annoying.
Wow.
Yeah, stamina, like the fact stamina is tied to this and like also to combat and abilities and stuff. It's like
and stuff.
It really feels limiting, but obviously as we level up it won't, but yeah, so I guess we just spend stamina. Like I don't know. And now we're in the Heron Plains. There is nothing to do in zoom in here, but we could go explore other places. We can go check what this is, check what this is. I don't know, we can go here and start investigating what's going on with your thing. I don't know, talk to some people, whatever. I'm not sure what you want to do. You want to just keep going down? Or you want to explore somewhere new? I don't know.
Let's go down. Okay. Does it give you more information? Like, is it like a quest that you keep progressing?
I have no idea. Okay, tummy rumbles. So we're on the road. You enjoy your travels, taking in the sights. Nothing wrong there. Okay, we're good. And then we're now at the Kepwick outskirts. So now we know the next card is the one, right?
So as long as we travel...
Let's just investigate here, I think, and see. So we're going to pull big 6. And we're going to zoom in. Cue town music. or empty farmish music. Okay, so... So we zoom in here. Now we put ourselves on around where we entered, which was from hex D4. So you can put wherever you want around it. Again, this is loosey-goosey in adventure mode, where we can just go do whatever. I've already looked in some of these things and talked to some people and stuff.
So I need to talk to probably the NPC here?
Or in the house, or in this hut.
Like, is there NPCs in there?
This is where the ant thing happened. I don't know. Here, we can go just start looking in there. So I pull small 11.
Small 11, okay.
Yeah, there was some elf guy in there I was talking to. But I don't remember which one asked me about a dwarf. It could have been literally when I was shrunk down and inside the well and all this stuff. Like, I don't even remember. But we can just poke around up here and see what's up. And this is a good way.
You can do as many things as you want, right? There's no limit.
Yeah. You just go crazy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's what's inside.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, this dude, there's POI 28 here. Oh, maybe it was this.
Did you interact with it?
Yeah, but I don't remember anything about it.
Okay.
And then this. So you can just do whatever you want. I'll just throw that down there for you.
Okay, well, let's talk to, and I can just be adjacent, right? So let's talk to NPC.
And just grab NPC 32. Yep.
Just gonna move these closer, sorry.
Yep.
NPC 32. It was in like this.
Yeah, so he has a role-playing point that's left to be grabbed, basically, is how I kind of put it back like that.
Okay, I can take one.
Yeah. So an elvish man is here thumbing through a leather-bound journal. Thank you for your help. And so he's different because, see, he's a bee. Means already interacted with him and changed him.
Oh, okay.
So now he's talking different, which I probably already talked to him again, but whatever. This is how his current state is. So thank you for your help. I very much appreciate having the journal. I must say I'm a little worried for Arydia if she ends up pursuing the attackers east into the uplands. And you can ask about the journal, the uplands, or Arydia.
Journal.
Okay, we flip it over. Journal. Thank you for your help. I'd like some time along with the journal.
Lyria?
From what Khaleesi has written in her journal, it seems Arydia is a stalwart companion, but I worry if she meets the blonde-haired man, she is no fighter. So, and then if you ask about the uplands, things are not well on the other side of the basin. If the reports I've gotten from Rivertown are to be trusted, strange things are afoot. If you plan to adventure in that direction, do be careful. And then if you're like, ooh, tell me more about strange things. To be honest, I wouldn't believe it, but for the word of my good friend Breck, he talks of seeing the dead walking about in broad daylight. Such things haven't happened in the basin in years beyond memory. I shudder to think of what evil may have awoken. And if you were reading this, or me, technically I would be reading it because you're talking to this NPC. I would get a role-playing point, but I'm full, so I wouldn't get it. So now we need to remember that this guy we've never taken the point from. And, you know, this is where it gets to, you just take it. Who cares?
Because I can
yes,
hold
just
on.
take it. Whatever.
So then it goes back in how?
Yeah, so you're done talking to him. So just put it in like that.
Like this?
Yep, so the black bar is up and whatever. And make sure you put it in the active part.
Yep. Okay, so that was not the man we're looking for.
Maybe check the POI in the corner and just pull that POI card
POI
and
28.
see. Yeah, I don't remember what that was. Maybe that was the one that asked about dwarf, and that's why I don't really.
It was in like that.
POI 28.
Yeah, sorry, I guess it could be there.
I always pull the wrong ones, and then I'm like, whoops. Okay. An old home. Sunlight filters in through the window of this quiet home. There are bookcases lining the walls and scrolls and parchments on the desks and tables. Cabinets sparkle with an array of brightly colored bottles.
Bottles.
Bottles. You enjoy looking through the various shapes and labels of the bottles. They seem to be mainly remedies for sickness and disease. So we can just look here, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
oh yeah, this
you
is
could get another point. I don't remember how you pull it out. Was it on black or yellow? Do you remember?
It was on yellow.
Yellow? Okay, so this is still up for grabs. Nothing here is talking about anything is information about, it's just like flavor, I guess. So yeah, you can just put it back away like that.
Okay, so that was not it either.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know, again, I don't remember if it even was here.
So then we can go here, small 12.
Sure. Which will open, and there's a cow who's talking like a dude.
The cow's talking like a dude?
Yep. Like I said, the animals and the things switched. The ants have some amulet that have messed up. Oh, okay.
NPC 36.
Oh, yeah, I never talked to that guy.
You didn't?
Nope. I don't think so.
It was on
I just saw he's chewing grass in the picture. I'm pretty sure I didn't. A dwarven farmer.
Here we go.
Oh, maybe talking to the other guy was asking about dwarves, because he's technically, this is the real dwarf, but he looks like a cow. Oh. So this is a dwarven man, is kneeling here on all fours, delicately nibbling on the grass. The farmer looks up at you, a clump of grass in his beard. You think you should greet him? If anyone speaks to the farmer, make a loud moo like a cow. Hold on. Moo.
But
there, I'm role-playing.
But you didn't even need the role-playing point.
I know. It's dumb. But anyways, yeah, that's what I'm... This is why I'm like, who cares?
That's not helpful either. What the heck?
Yeah. So you can just put that back and leave it active, so we could get a role-playing point from him in the future if it matters.
So do we have to talk to the cow?
So yeah, just go talk to the cow.
NPC 37.
Yeah. Maybe the cow was asking about a dwarf, because he's technically a dwarf. Cow, and it's disgruntled, and it's rubbing its hooves. A cow stands here on its hind legs, a sullen expression on its face. Okay, get it over with. I'm sure you want to moo or make some joke. Listen, as I'm sure you can gather, this isn't how I normally look. I was cursed. I see you wear the brass exile's pin, so perhaps you'd be willing to lend me a hoof or a hand. So you can make moo jokes.
Okay.
You can ask about being cursed. You can lend a hand / hoof. But if you have key 23...
How do I know what number it is?
I don't think we have that key. No. But our keys we have are in the party section in there.
Key 6, 2...
No, those are squills.
Oh,
so we have two squills.
24 we have.
So in this game, we need to find the squills. Squills, picture them like in Distant Skies we just played. They're like totems.
Yeah.
That's how you beat the campaigns, by getting enough squills, I guess, to be taken back and no longer be in exile. So we're out hunting for squills is like the totem things we're hunting for.
Okay.
So we have 2. I've gotten 2 so far.
Okay, so we don't have that key.
Yeah, so we don't draw the event.
I'll say cursed.
Cursed. So then you flip it over. You ask about cursed. Talks about the ants. I don't see anything. And I already have key 24. That was probably in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's like the start of the ants mission.
So maybe this is, okay, maybe it doesn't.
It probably was underground with something about a dwarf, and that whole ant storyline is probably related to your thing.
Oh man, we gotta go back to the ants? You think? Well, we said we're probably not ready, so let's do 36 or something.
Yeah, we're just not into the role-playing stuff, Viper, but yeah, that definitely is like, could be fun, obviously, like if you have the right group doing it, you know? It's cool that it's there, but yeah, it's just like, we're just like, yeah, we're playing like a video game. We're just clicking on the options like,
yeah.
Okay, sure, NPC, tell me what's next. Tell me what's next. Sure. Give me the information I need. I want to get the hell out of here. Get back to hunting and fighting.
Sean, what did I say? I don't even know what I said. So, okay, let's go. Okay, we're not getting what we need here. We don't want to fight the ants based on what Rob said yet.
I don't think so, but
so I
think you should fight rats first.
If we move one more time, we're going to get the rats.
Yeah, but it has to be moving along a road, or we could move
you can go
either
something
direction.
unexplored.
We can go to an unexplored place. There's a town down here that I've never really looked around at.
Let's go to an unexplored place so we can see something different.
So we know that there's a story, the way the guy's talking about the undead, I think, is on the peninsula up here. That's what, there's some girl I helped, and she's on the hunt looking for some dude that basically killed her friend or something.
He says it's dangerous to go that way?
Yeah, it might be up here, so like we could kind of explore that way. I don't know what's this, like, I'm not sure, whatever. You pick whatever.
Okay, let's go here.
Yeah, I'd vote kind of that way. So we're going to do this.
We take these
and then we
off.
draw here. And it's flowers. Oh, no, tracking. You've traveled through a habitat. If you're traveling through a habitat when you draw this card, which was those two symbols, it is one of those. So I didn't understand how the habitat thing worked, but now that makes sense. So track. Oh, we need to spend stamina for this too.
Everybody or just one?
Just one, probably.
I can do it because
Sure.
I have one.
If you're going to be the one to do this, you're going to either do an endurance test or a wisdom test. You do have more endurance than me. Oh, no.
Both. I have one.
No, you don't. I don't know how this works. If one person does it or we both do it as a party, I'm not sure. But,
okay.
Sure.
So we need a 12?
Let's find out, maybe.
Okay.
Because if it makes sense. Like, I'll just spend for my knapsack if I need the stamina. But I also want that for traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
So we are doing a job, which is page 14. We're doing a hunt job. Hunt jobs, track down and fight specific foes. First, you'll travel to a specified starting hex. You add the travel 90 to tracking card into the travel deck. Travel nearby hexes. If you draw travel 90 while you're traveling on one of the specified habitat terrain types, trigger the hunt and begin combat. But
we have to, in this case, spend.
Yeah, it doesn't really say who needs to spend what. Oh, we're hunting though. We're hunting.
We're hunting. That's what
we want to do it. I just don't know who's spending. I guess we pick one of us to spend and then do the test.
Okay.
Let's just say it's that.
So I have to roll.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like one person in the party spends on stamina and the other person can roll against their check, right? Like, I don't know.
Oh, but you have better endurance than I do.
Yeah.
So you roll.
Sure.
Because I only have
So let me
one.
spend one for my backpack.
No, can't I spend but you roll? Like, does that matter? Like,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Sure, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. If anyone knows, watching later, leave it in the comments below. I'm not sure. Okay. So sure, you spend, I roll.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I don't know if that makes sense. Like thematically, does that make sense? I'm not sure.
We're together as a party.
8 plus 3 is
Oh,
one shy. So, but I can spend an RP token to get plus 3 on that.
Oh, Janet played the same way we're doing it. Okay. Thanks, Janet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Janet, I always trust Janet. What am I doing? This goes on my board. Okay.
So we can fight.
Yeah. Yeah, don't question your
You're
teachers.
getting your rules. Yeah. Thank
exactly.
You, you're just validating our rule.
Okay. And then success, go hunt. Go to hunt, then return this card. So I'm actually going to unsleeve this. You're going to put the Turv 90 card back in the inactive Turv section where it needs to go.
Okay.
The travel cards.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to fire off this hunt. Place big 90. So.
Oh, I see where the issue comes. Like as you're playing, you just.
They say if you're playing, you might go back to the place. Just leave everything on the table and slide it off to the side.
Right, we might go back there.
But then things fall off and yeah, it's like all weird. It's messy. Messy. Okay. So place big 90. Place party on X. Okay, big 90. Big 90 is inactive? Oh, what? What terrain type are we on? Oh, okay. Hold on, man. These are weird. So it tells me on the first big 90, down here, there's 7 unique big 90 maps. Each one corresponds with a terrain type from the world map. When asked to draw a big 90, draw the one that matches the terrain type you're currently traveling on. So that's not the one. We're doing the flower. That's kind of cool, actually. So...
oh, so that means it'll be different based on...
yeah, a great wide open field. Because it's the flower symbol, and that's what we're traveling across is the flower symbol.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is what we're fighting on. So there's like M, Y, X, Z, K, L. I said it, Z. All right. So that's what's there. And
it says place party on X.
okay. So we just have to be adjacent to it some way.
Place on Y and Z.
Y and Z. Okay, I'll just go here.
Like that?
Whatever. I don't know. Or here. I'm not sure. Okay. And then you need to grab all the faux cards for 4 and 5, which will be like 7 different cards. Oh, yeah. 4 and 5. Okay. And here you go. I'm just going to get the minis out. And then we can stick little colored bases on these guys.
Oh, I thought these were rubber. Place a faux on Y and Z. Leave 2 out. So you just take number...
oh, okay. Leave 2 out.
So you take 1 and 2?
Oh, and they're going to be on L. The boss is going to be behind us.
All right, I'll just take 1 and 2.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, leave 2 out for now.
Yeah, so you just need the colors that match. You need the yellow and the brown.
Got it. One. So I guess one last question. Sorry, where do they go in the 4 square? Like,
I'll just do it.
Like, do you put them like anywhere?
Anywhere adjacent, your choice.
They get to go first, eh?
Yeah.
All right, let's put them farther away, I guess. Let them, maybe they won't hit us. I don't know.
What's their attack patterns? That might matter.
Okay, and place faux 5, which is the giant rat, on L. Do they need a base if it's just 1? No, right?
Nope.
Okay.
So victory, we got to defeat all foes and then travel to Fellsworn Village to claim the reward and then tear this card into 2.
Okay.
Defeat. If you lose or flee, return this to the job deck. So you don't even have it anymore. So you'd have to go back to the job board to get it back, then go start it again. Loot. Don't loot after combat. Ignore the rewards on the faux cards. Gain the reward below when you complete the job. So we have to get back to this town to collect our reward.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
That's what's up.
That's cool.
Okay. I'm going to shuffle the threat deck. Viper has a question in the chat. If anyone has any comments on, is asking, I'm currently playing through Trudvang Legends, which I'm finding to be kind of repetitive. How does Aridia compare, if at all, to Trudvang? Never played Trudvang. I don't know anything about it. I just think it was a CMON game that got like delayed for a long time, and I just remember it was one of those like crowdfundings that like was pissing off the fan base. You know, that they did it basically, since it's not exactly a Zombicide, they don't know how to make it properly. So it took extra long to make, I think. And it had its issues supposedly, but I don't know much about it. I was not into CMON crowdfunding at the time, so. But John's answering, better than Trudvang. And Matthew says, I hope this game gets reprinted. Oh, but yeah, if anyone's played Trudvang and knows this game, throw anything you can help Viper out with in the chat. Yeah, well, any thoughts on that? I don't know. This could get repetitive too, right? That's the one problem with all campaign games. Sometimes they literally just put so many scenarios in the box and don't think about how to make it interesting every time you play. And if you have to understand, I would say 90% of campaign games are just repeating the exact same thing over and over and over again with the story layered in top. It's the ones that make it like that basically have the best gameplay loop that interests you. So a game for me like Gloomhaven, I don't care about much in it except for like I love the hand management and the puzzly nature of those scenarios. Just by switching up a few things like your character and the monsters, it creates a new puzzle, and I love that hand management mechanic. I could do that all day. The rest of it, I don't really care. But if you're not willing to do the gameplay loop, so you've already been watching the stream, Viper, right? So if you've watched a gameplay loop of like for today, for example, you saw us get out the map, you saw us wander around, you saw us put out some map tiles, pull out some cards, put them away, and then we're going to go back to a town and rest. That is the gameplay loop, and that may be the gameplay loop over and over again for like 90 play sessions. I have no idea. I don't know how long this game is. I don't know if they throw a twist, because there is a lot of hidden information in this game. There is multiple enemy boxes that are hidden. There is literally map tiles for map tiles for map tiles, and we just learned some of the map tiles have special rules now. That's a new thing. There's multiple map tile boxes. I have some box called LG1 that I have no clue what the hell this is. I have a box in shrink called LG2. I have no idea what the hell this is. I have the DOS box, which again, is not the Microsoft version. It's like the original IBM version of DOS. But this comes with tons of stuff to punch out that's all secret of different type of things that they didn't want you even looking at. I don't know if there's hidden rules and new components to the game that totally like halfway through the campaign break the gameplay loop or make it more interesting. But if you just on basic risk, any game you're looking at that is a long campaign game, just figure out where the start and end of a single gameplay loop is and look at it like I am going to repeat that loop X times. Could be 10, 15, 90, who knows? You don't know, maybe with some games you do. But if that start and end to that loop doesn't look interesting for you to do more than a couple times, don't buy the game. Find a game that has the loop you enjoy. So True Vang Legends, whatever loop was that they were showing off when they were previewing the crowdfunding campaign, if that loop, if you were like, I don't really want to do that loop more than 5 times, you probably shouldn't have backed that game, you know? That's maybe what happened. Just saying, like, for example, I have no idea, but, you know, that's how I kind of look at these games now. I kind of look at what is in the gameplay loop. Is there some cool new thing? And is it repeatable? And I used to be really serious about it. Like, I must love it the whole way through. I've kind of changed my tune over time of doing this for like over 10 years of playing these kind of games. I now just go, am I going to like enjoy playing it like 4 or 5 times, spending some hours learning it, playing it, practicing it, streaming it? And that's okay to me to try it, not like it, and stop playing after like 5 sessions. I'm not mad. I'll be like, it's just not for me, or the game is not, it's not that great or that interesting, and that loop did get boring, or I'm okay. I got my value out of it. I tried it. Not every game is going to be a hit, and it's done, right? But I used to get more mad when it was like, man, there's things in this game that suck because they expected me to do this 45 times, and this sucks. Like, this is annoying. Did nobody playtest this? But now I understand, like, okay, maybe it's not for me, or maybe they don't care about me, so I'm just going to stop playing their game. I don't care. It's fine. Not everything is for me, and not everything is great to play long term. So yeah, that's a fine balance they got to figure out. But yeah, there's a lot of crap in this game. Like tons of cards. There's really 3 boxes of these cards that I don't know what the hell is in here, but there's tons and tons and tons of stuff we're going to discover. But if that loop of discovering that stuff is boring after 10 times, I'm not going to be playing this game anymore. That's totally fine. But that's personal to me. You have to decide if what it's for you. So yeah. So when you ask somebody and John says this game is better, that is you have no idea what John likes. John obviously enjoys stuff in this game more than he would in that game, but what does John like that you might not like or also like? That's where it gets tricky, right? You're the only one who can answer that question. Do your research, basically, is the answer. This is my years of figuring things out. This is where I'm currently at, and hopefully that helps you. Teach you to fish instead of just giving you fish. There you go. But yeah, you might not even like campaign games is what you learn. You're like, wait, I remember way back in the day when I was playing Too Many Bones on the channel. And one of our members, George A., very amazing, skilled player at board games. This guy like takes board games, like he is a guy that you should be paying to play test your games, because he was like super strategic. He would solve games, even the most complex games. He'd find out the best strategies. I remember discussing with him. He would show optimal strategies, explain why he's doing it, what he's looking at. Very smart fella. Okay. Hey, George. But basically, he then one time, I remember him, he was one of the people who was like, he loved Too Many Bones. And I was like, I loved Gloomhaven and I loved Too Many Bones. And where I realized he didn't like Gloomhaven because it was too repetitive to him. That's when I kind of clicked in like, oh, wait, what? It's a lot, like there's a lot of similarities here. You would think the same type of player would like both games. And that's when I kind of realized like, wait, he just doesn't like the gameplay loop in that and feels it's repetitive, but I feel like it's not that repetitive. But what it was is I love the repetitive parts. I can't get enough of it. But those parts were not interesting enough to George, but then he loves Too Many Bones so much. And I'm like, I love Too Many Bones, but not on the level of George, obviously. And that over time, Too Many Bones wears on me and I don't find as interesting. And I get out of love with it and back in love with that format, you know? So yeah, it's just like, it comes down to personal preference really, right? So yeah. And again, just if I stop playing Aridia after 10 episodes, I'm like, man, I can't do it anymore. It's like, the things that bothered me, you might be like, man, I love this stuff, right? Like I say I want an app in this game would be better, but I'm sure the majority of people are like, no, Rob, it wouldn't. But then again, we have different personalities, different tastes and loves. So it's like, hey, that benefited you by figuring that out, right? Like, and it benefited me. Like, you know, you figure out what I like and compare it to your table of things you like and you need, you know? Just gather information. That's all you can do. All right. Alrighty. Okay. We're good where we are?
Yeah, I think so, unless you want to switch anything up.
So what I'd like to do is just look at the enemies and like kind of what their behaviors are. And the mistake I made from this giant rat, I remember, was I went, oh, okay. They can only move the max of this. And I know they're not going to move like the 5 and the 3 options here, but they still can move 6 and 5 anyway.
Yeah.
So I just know that this mother effer of a big giant rat is going to move maybe up to 6 and chomp me, or even worse, could get plus damage on it, which is like you want to avoid this like the plague, right?
Yeah.
Because just picture your armor, right? It blocks like 1 or 2 damage, and you could literally get hit by a chomp that has a bonus damage, and that's assuming they haven't already limit broke and have a +1 permanent damage on them. So then you could be getting hit by like 4, and if your armor only blocks 1, and you're a 4 health character, doesn't take too many hits before you're dead. So we're weak. We're low. These rats are all level, I think it's on the back, right? Level 1 for these ones. What about the giant rat? Level 1. Okay. We're both level 2, so we should be totally fine. They say you should be able to fight normal difficulties like fighting something the same level as you. Try to avoid things that are any higher than you, but 1 level higher is maybe fine. Okay. A little more challenging. But if it's like 2 or higher, I think somebody was saying online, maybe the designer even, when I was researching the game, was saying avoid 2 or higher might be a bad idea.
Oh, that makes sense.
And maybe flee. So yeah. So that's how I look at it. But then what I forgot in the equation is where I want to be and in my turn and avoid attack and stuff. Also remember their attack pattern. So I might be like, oh, I'm 6 away, I'm fine. Oh, but this one can hit like here, here, or this one can hit all 3 spaces in front of it. Mm-hmm. So I forgot to add that in, but thankfully it didn't reach me when I was worried about it. But then you can also look at the die they roll. And we need the blue and we need the gray, for example. The other way you can look at it, when we start getting better armor and you only have certain spots covered, you can start looking at these dice, if you want to really get nitty gritty with it, is see where these dice could hit and kind of go, oh crap, I have no armor on like my head and my arms, right? Let's say, and this die literally on 3 out of the 5 spots it hits could be those. I should really avoid a chomp all day. But if you looked at whip and you're like, oh, I have beautiful shoulder armor and I don't care about getting hit in the shoulders as much, and my hands, maybe I have some cool gloves that aren't ruined or damp, I could get hit that way, no problem. So maybe on the whip, you stay beside the enemy and go, screw you, whip me all day, I'm fine for now. So this is how you kind of could make educated guesses on when to avoid and when to get hit and maybe be okay.
Yeah.
And that's how the armor wearing system is kind of clever and neat and could change your courage in a fight, basically, based on what is possible. But again, it's random roll, so you might still not get hit in the hand. You might get hit in that one arm spot that doesn't have any armor left on it, and whack, 3 damage, you're done, you know?
Yeah.
So this is the kind of scary part about the randomness of the combat. But the enemies are unpredictable-ish. Okay, when it gets hit on a weak spot, it's going to raise threat. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So enemies first, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you decide who's first
I know,
player.
I
forget.
Said, like whoever initiated the combat, but in this case,
is that what it is?
But you're not really taking like precise turns when you're exploring.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't flip this to say we're in combat, everyone.
Oh yeah. So we have to take everything off the board again and set it all up again because this was the first step of combat.
Yeah, I forgot that.
And we didn't do it, so we have to undo everything we just did. No, I'm just kidding. I always make fun of that. I never remember this is even a token. I always forget and make fun of it after.
Just go first.
Sure. All right, here we go. Oh no, the boss is going to activate.
Okay, so at 0, the boss is going to go towards the person with the most health. I have 4.
This is so bad.
Oh,
I have 3.
Okay.
Okay, so he's targeting you.
Targeting me. Can move for 6. He wants to get into
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a chomp.
Yeah.
So it can't really reach, I don't think. Where'd you put it? Like here, right?
Yeah,
Or something?
I put it far back, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I can get there.
But it can't hit me though.
Yeah. I assume it tries to just hit me. I think enemies will just hit if they can. Yeah, good question with like 2 players. Pretty sure they just hit where they can.
Thought I read something about targeting.
Yeah, like if they can't get their target, most games will just
23.
smack who they can, right?
Oh, I think you're right, because it says consider the foe's ability to identify every exile that could be hit by the attack. So technically, and then among those exiles, apply the targeting priority to choose which exile to
okay. So
target.
that priority only breaks ties, basically.
If there's a tie, the target exile. Okay.
It's going to hit me no matter what.
I think it's going to hit.
Okay, so what does it do? 2 damage?
It does.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it rolls that.
So it hits my Onyx's arm. So boom, boom. I'm down to 2. I'm down to 1 health left, just like that.
That's bad.
I know, this is crazy. But this is what we went hunting for them, and they get to go first. Okay, so now it's my turn. I definitely will spend a potion to heal 1 as a... Oh, but that's my minor action. That's so annoying. Yeah, maybe I'll leave that so that I can unsurge myself to life maybe later. Okay. I need to get back from this guy for sure. So we're going to move, combo 1, and then we're going to go... Oh, so lame. Freaking rat. 1, 2, 3... I'm going to then fire on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to fire on this brown rat here, I think. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to fire on the brown rat with my cracked bow, or...
Oh, Constance, put your health back to 1 because you didn't use the...
Oh, thank you. Yep.
item yet.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to kill the little rats first, maybe, but I don't know if that's wrong or we should just focus on the big one, but I just want to get bodies off the board. going to focus on little brown rat. A 9, 10, 11, 12. So I get to hit 2 spots technically. But if you could just put 1 damage on the right. Oh, actually, yeah, I could do 1 here, 1 here. That fires the critical off and kills him.
Okay.
Right? Because it crosses and then it sprays down. And
so you don't actually put on...
No, he's dead. It's fine.
Okay.
And because I killed him on that attack with all that stuff, you don't do the weak point business.
Right.
And then I would probably... I could attack this rat too.
Oh, not a bad idea.
I know, but then it goes again and like, I'm assuming it's going to go for you.
Yeah, it will.
If it goes again.
Yeah, because most health will go to me. And
okay. In that case, yeah, sure. I will... How do we do this? There's not enough combo for me to snipe. Basic bow attack. No. Oh, yeah. I'm going to mark him for free, which allows me, as a reaction, to spend mana to do aimed damage. So I'm going to fire on this rat with a basic bow attack. Yep. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 11, 12, 13. I'll spend my last role-playing point here, so that'll hit 2 coming from the top. So if you just do the middle row, so 1 and 2, and then obviously that crosses a critical that sprays down to the right there. And then I'll spend a mana point to do my marked ability here to deal 1 damage to... let's do it to...
This guy's dead, so let's do like...
Let me just zoom in on here. I just need to see the criticals. Let's just do it to the top right.
Okay.
Okay.
Does this come back to you? Is that...
No, it stays there the rest of the combat.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, I can only use it once per combat, so that guy's marked for me. And yeah, that would be here. Probably should yeah, that's fine. All right, I'm done.
That seems good what you just did there.
Your turn. So the mobs will activate.
Okay, so
little weenie rat
doesn't have anything to spend. He's 0, so he's going to come towards the most, which is me, most health, and he's going to move for 2.
Done.
All
okay,
right.
your turn.
Okay. He's 4 away. 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3. Nope. I gotta move. So let's move. I think here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's within. Okay. Let's do that. Actually, yeah, that guy moves far anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's try out this new rusty kunai. I need to be within range 4. I'll attack this guy first.
Yeah, it's just a regular.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you have to be hidden for this? No, that's just your symbol. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So within 4 range.
Within 4 range, I'm going to attack this guy because potentially I could just take it out.
So you actually have to spend this. Actually, this is not. How does this work?
Oh, do I have to spend that? Maybe I do.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's like a one-time shot thing, right? That's what I think that is. So you put a token on it, I think. Then you remove this for the combat. It gets refreshed automatically outside of combat.
Right.
So you might as well use it.
Okay, so we're attacking this little rat. Oh, look what I got.
Natural 20s, 2 free combo.
Okay, so that's 20. So it does the whole attack of down and over. So that's exactly the configuration of this guy.
Spicy.
So he's dead. Okay. Then I probably should have done that in a different order.
Yep, but we're learning. So just keep going with it. We learn from our mistakes. This is a perfect like practice combat. I didn't realize we're only gonna have 2 rats. I totally forgot about that.
Okay, so because I did that in the wrong order, I'm gonna go hidden.
She's gonna leave me to be. Oh, but your token actually is gonna be the thing it goes after, right? Which I like better.
Yeah.
In other games, you become hidden and then I'm the target.
Yeah, I need to. So put that here. I need to spend 1. I am hidden. So I place this where I was. And then from here, I can move 3, or I can pay a stamina to move 5 instead. But I'll just move 3. Or like I'll just move to here.
Remember, yeah, once he makes you invisible.
Yeah.
But remember where you want to drop
here.
traps maybe or something too. Like,
let's go there for now.
okay.
Okay.
And that's you?
That's me done. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, there's talk in the chat. I was waiting until you're finished. But Viper's mentioning how they like in this game, it's like folklore. And that's why I was mentioning this game was like that. With the one die roll, the D20, the RPG Dungeons Dragons thing, roll a D20, find out if you hit or not, right? The difference with this game, though, I think it needs to have this D20 because of the complexity of all the options and the aiming and the weak points and the criticals. And there is lots of complexity with options and targeting and all that and initiative and stuff that I think they need to keep the dice simple. And I understand why. But I do prefer games where it's more in the crazy dice with some extra complexity, like like Sword and Sorcery. Rolling a handful of dice, like in Too Many Bones, Sword and Sorcery, Massive Darkness 2, whatever, just the ones I can think of off the top of my head. I prefer those customized, special, colorful dice where I may have more defensive dice and healing dice and poisoning dice and whatever, and I'm rolling them all together, right? It's kind of fun. Even though I got to sit there and sort out how much should I do.
It's still fun.
I'm already doing that in this game by sitting here going, can I spend on? What does a good hit? Will I roll the right number? Who am I attacking? Where do I need to be positioned? There's already a lot of complexity in this combat, so this is okay. It's a little boring rolling D20 because it reminds me of those Dungeons and Dragons boards games, but those are way too simple where it's like, pick card, roll, did I hit or did I not?
Yeah.
It's very boring. Not boring, but like very simple. It's fun, beer and pretzel style.
There's a little more, like you said, the puzzle of like your positioning and what item are you using and stuff.
So I think it's good. But don't ever think that this game is simple in the combat because this is a D20. Folklore was more simple, I think. I think Folklore was more basic, if I remember correctly, with the D20. It was a little on the less complex side with the combats.
Yeah, it was.
It's not like this. This is something going on here. This feels like it's going to get even more complex, especially when you have lots of skills to choose from. And the enemies get more complex, I'm sure, but yeah. So this is a welcome, actually. I did complain yesterday the D20 is like kind of boring to roll, but it is still boring to roll. But yeah. I prefer the fistful of dice. I think it's just more fun. Anyways.
Card for enemy.
Oh, no.
Oh, what's that?
Old bread. You hold the stale bread you found in the rat cellar. It looks moldy but nourishing. The active player chooses. 1 exile gains +3. And then you destroy the card and draw again. Or just keep it in the deck and draw again. I could take 2 of that heal right now. But if you think we're going to survive, we get to automatically heal when we rest. As long as we can make it back to town safely. So I want to keep this in here for some super amazing boss fight or something later. But I might regret that right now when I'm about to die. The mobs.
You're good.
There is no mobs, so we're just going up 1 threat. That means Mother Rat's getting angry. She's going to be more threatening. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Is that what's happening? So I reset tokens. And I'm still within range.
Perfect.
And what's the body looking like? So I'm going to look at the remaining hit points, weak points, criticals, kind of then look at my board here. What kind of attack patterns do I have available to me? Do I run up and start slashing in the
Pretty much all along the left and bottom.
Yeah.
And there's 2 criticals.
Okay, so I am going to just do a... Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. We got rid of other enemies on the board, so this ricochet doesn't matter. I could change my attack pattern and my range by using my quivers. Those refresh out of combat, so I might as well use them. Yes. So what I'm going to do is try to be sneaky and not... I'm like, my goal in this game is to never hit a weak point if I can avoid it. So what I'm going to do is use my Shadow Tail off of my Quivering Arrow. So I'm pulling out a special... Swallowtail Arrow. Swallowtail Arrow I'm pulling out. I'm going to use it with my Cracked Bow, because it's a reaction to using my bow. It adds an extra range if I need it, which I don't, but it changes the attack pattern to be wherever I want it to be and to the right.
Okay.
Assuming I roll at least a 12. Well, not roll a 12. I get a 12 after all bonuses and everything. So I roll, it's a 19, so we're good. So I ignore this attack pattern on here. I attack with that attack pattern. So what I'm going to do is choose this bottom left and cross to the right, hitting the critical, which will also go up to the top, the middle left there, and totally avoid all weak points.
Until we have to.
Until we have to.
I mean, I don't think there's anything that can...
Yeah.
I don't have anything that can do both of those in one shot.
And also, right now, I could just spend a mana because it's marked, and I will hit this weak point right here.
Oh, look at that.
Which will piss it off, and it gets 1 extra threat.
Which I think is fine.
It is fine, because then next, I'm going to attack with my bow. Just a boring old attack.
More. Yeah.
And I'm going to roll this die. Roll 11, 12, 13, 14. I only need 1 coming down from the top, and I hit it.
It's dead.
And we ignore that threat. The rat is dead. We hunted these bastards. We killed them. But we need to go back to Fellsworn Village, which I think we just do.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Oh, I didn't even get to put a trap out there.
Yeah.
It's okay. Flip that.
But at least it's some more combat experience for you beyond the quick start dummy guide, so you can kind of see, because like eventually I want you ready so we can go fight some ants and their mother, and they're a little more aggressive and a little crazier with a little more hit points and stuff, because they're a higher level. But hopefully you can go in there and you can use your hidden and your traps to help, and me hiding from behind the traps and your hidden token, and where I'm sniping guys with my arrows, where you're throwing knives at them and stabbing them in the back and stuff. And we'll just shred through those ants, and which I think progresses your story probably. I have a feeling your story is related to what I was doing down there, but.
Did you have the other 2, or did I put them away?
They're right here.
Okay.
Jose's saying, I'm level 8 now, and I still have the bread in my deck. Knowing me, I'll have it in there, even after I finish the campaign. Yep, you don't use it until you really need it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you save that moldy bread. I wish that bread also was just a draw, and if you don't use it, it just kind of nullifies the draw that turn. And it's like your reward for keeping it in there, you know? But it's not that good. Dominic says, how did you hit 3 spots with the quiver? Shouldn't it only be 1 hit point? Well, Dominic, let me show you my quiver of rotting arrows. I used the swallowtail, but even if I used broadhead, I would have been able to hit 2 spots by rolling the gray number on my regular bow, or my cracked short bow, I should say. So basically I chose this cube to change the attack pattern of this. So basically no matter what my bow, as long as I roll in the gray or the dark gray, I will hit more than 1 spot. In this case, I just need to get 12 or plus, and I was able to hit wherever I wanted and to the right. So on that rat, I hit the bottom left, swung to the right, that crossed a critical, which then shot to the left, and then I used my mark, because I marked that fat bastard, and I spent a mana to hit for anywhere I wanted, which I fired off the last weak point, killed the rat, smoked that fool, and that's how I roll.
Yeah, we crushed that one.
Yeah.
You crushed that one, actually.
Yeah. I've already faced that rat before, and now I'm actually facing the rat at a higher level with more juiced up weapons. These are from my path box that are better than what my starting crap was, even though they're rotting and cracked. They're still better than what I had.
Pay to refresh.
But yeah, Dominic, that's how it worked. Did I mess that up?
No, Dominic didn't see the critical.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay, perfect.
And then here's the rats.
Okay.
Is the village that we're going to where the ants are? Or is the ants first and then the village?
The ants are in the farm.
Oh, the ants are in the farm. Okay, not the
We don't have to fight the ants right now.
No, I know. We have to go to the village.
I don't want to fight the ants right now.
I want to get the rewards.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could just do that. Like, today's session could just literally be, like, do this, go back to town. We collect some loot, maybe shop, talk to some NPCs in the town to see if there's anything they can do for you. So, yeah. So, we just have this, and that's it. Okay. So, back to our...
Oh, yeah. We were still in the middle of traveling. We didn't even open the new location.
That's right. Oh, yeah. That's probably how that works, right?
It, like, stopped us midway.
So, yeah. Let's... So we found Edgewater, which literally you can go through 3 different directions. There's nothing to zoom in on and explore there. But now we also can cut to it. Oh, God. It's stuck. But now we can cut to it this way too, which I think already was there. But now we know. So if we do go back to Fellsworn and we come back, we can like go that way.
Yeah, it makes it shorter.
Yeah.
Where's the village on there?
Up here. This is Fellsworn Village. So let's just start traveling. I mean, we're going to run out of stamina and start getting in trouble anyway, just doing the travel mechanic, which is kind of lame, but So this is, we're looking for a flower. Oh, you passed this way easily because we went through some brambles. Okay, great.
So I'm just refreshing my kunai, which refreshes.
Oh yeah.
Outside of combat.
Yeah, my quivers are refreshed. My mark is refreshed. And that is that. Okay.
Oh, your knapsack?
We do have knapsacks to use, but remember when we rest, you don't always get to fill your whole thing sometimes, depending on where we go. And if we want to fill our whole thing, it will cost us money. So I don't know. I'm not really worried about it. And when we rest, we get to refresh our stamina anyway. But yes, we have the knapsacks just in case.
That was a safe travel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
So then we're going to go through the exile camp. Oh no, let's stay on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through the Ragul Junction again. It was easy. We're good. Nothing bad.
Nice.
From Ragul Junction, we could go up by the winding shore, for example, do another road. It's a nearby voice. You think you hear something calling, but it's very far away. Just discard it, then draw again. Weird. Dense fog. We're fine. So we're on a road. Okay, cool. And then East Fallsworn Village, which is also road. Oh no!
Sore feet.
Sore feet from walking so much. So we pay a stamina or we're frustrated. Let's just flip the token. Who cares at this point?
Because it refreshes, right?
Yeah, when we rest.
Okay.
The only thing this stops is you going to new places. But if you flip your first token as you're traveling to a new place, you still get there and you flip it. It's just then it stops you from going to other new places.
That makes sense.
But we're not really about finding new places. I still have places I didn't even explore yet that are already revealed.
Yeah, okay.
So even if we do have to flip tokens later, we can at least get to those places without worrying too much and maybe saving some stamina. Okay, and now we're in Fellsworn Village.
So then we get a reward?
Yeah, you're gonna pull, can you pull POI 3? And I'll pull big 1 just for fun.
POI 3. Oh, a worn knapsack. Oh, that's better.
So you can visit this POI, which is separate from visiting this, but I'm just pulling this out to show you. You can visit 2 things here. So this is what I drew randomly from the
Oh, I know that one.
The pathless items, basically. Like we can get stuff from this. So this came from that shop. So it's attached here for good. This costs 3 because that's what the card tells us.
Oh, I see.
And it's just forever tied there, which it is a juicy. Like look at this knapsack. It heals 2 for each token.
What does the other side do on it?
Other side?
So one side heals 2.
Well, this just tells you how it works. So you can heal yourself or an adjacent ally, basically. So in combat, this matters. Out of combat, it doesn't matter where you're standing. And in adventure mode also.
So you can do it twice?
So in combat mode, I need to be beside you in combat if you were to use this on me, or you obviously can use it on yourself.
Okay, so the backpack lets you recover it twice.
But it has to be in your belt, which you know by looking at, I don't know if I probably was just holding this for the party. I think I have it. Yeah. On the general knapsack reference card, it tells you is a belt item usable only on your belt. So you'd have to spend a minor action in combat to put it on your belt if you need to use it. I was actually running around with 2 backpacks and just switching them when I needed.
Oh, okay.
And then using the stamina up on them.
Yeah.
And then you can pay to refresh all of it at an inn.
Oh, okay.
Or you'll see sometimes here in this town, we have the job board, but you can pay 1 gold for supplies to fill all knapsacks. Just fill them all up for 1 gold.
Oh,
the whole party.
Oh, that's cool.
Even the ones that you're holding in your inventory and the ones you have equipped, they all just get filled up.
That's cool.
Done.
Okay. That's cool.
And
this, I guess,
here, though, the problem is, so it's a free rest at our guild, but it costs 1 to rest here. But this one also allows you to remove an exhaustion card from the threat deck if that gets added in from traveling.
Okay.
But I don't think it's in there right now, so we don't have to worry about that. But this just also is how you refresh travel tokens, how you shuffle the travel deck back up, how you replenish all your stats, and you draw a day card, which I've already drawn all 3 day cards. So it's going to tell me I need to pull day card 4 out. And I forget if we need to read it or we just then put it back in. I forget. We'll read how that works when we rest. But also here, we have the apothecary at this town. So every town is different. It might add more stuff and or more powerful stuff. So the starting location lets you once per day for free get rid of like 5 wear tokens. And you can spend 1 on this place to get rid of 7, up to 7. And the vendor, you can sell your items to them. So you can sell that extra pants you have.
Yeah, my extra pants.
Sure. You want to sell it right now?
Yeah.
Sell it right now. I'll put it in my
one.
super high quality homemade Arydia sold items Ziploc baggie.
Okay, so I'll sell my pants for 1. Oops, sorry.
So to get these items back, you'll see right here, if you want to ever get back these amazing pants, so obviously there's enemies in the game that probably steal your pants. It probably related to the underpants gnomes that might steal your underpants. But you could buy this back if you really need it for double the gold, it says right there, 2 times the value at this town.
Okay.
So I don't know later if like that happened. I assume there's some kind of slime monster that might steal your daggers you're stabbing it with. And then you're like, oh crap, I need to go buy a crappy dagger. Or maybe if a new person joins a party and you're like, I have this amazing bow you can use that I sold. I don't know why you'd want to purchase stuff back, to be honest, but you can. Okay. And that's why I keep it in this super high quality, professionally made
I love
Arydia sold items bag. Yeah. Feel free to steal that idea. All right. And then, yeah, so that's what's here. But other town cards could be way longer and have more things on them and yada, yada, yada. So,
okay.
So while we're here, we might as well trade in our job because you can only have 1 job at a time. You can choose to fail the job that the party has and take a new one at any time. You can just fail the job to get rid of it. But you can only look at the available job deck when you're at a job board. So I probably have other jobs I've added in there that I probably looked at them already, but you don't normally do. So we're going to just do this. So we travel to Fellstorm Village and claim the reward. So we each get the experience for sure. I think we divvy up the 3 gold.
Okay.
I think it's as a party you get 3 gold, not each of us. So you can just have it, whatever.
So here's an experience for you.
Yeah, so we each get an experience. We all gotta be at the same level.
3 gold, so I'll take a 5.
And then if you can roll a d20 with no modifiers and you can't use role-playing tokens on it because it's not an attribute test.
These are 5s, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think the next denomination is, the
10?
gold ones?
What is it?
20, I think. It's
Oh.
so, I don't know why they did it that way.
Okay, so I roll a d20.
I'm pretty sure. 12. So according to this, a 12 will get us 2 more gold.
Okay, you can have that.
Oh, John B has the exact same custom-made sold bag.
Oh.
Oh, awesome. You can have it. The money. Or 1 and 1.
1 and 1,
sure,
yeah.
whatever.
We can
I don't know why you're
split.
handing it to me.
I don't know, because I took the other money, so I thought
Sure,
it was
whatever.
being fair.
And yeah, you have to roll like a natural 20 basically
to
to
get
draw
item.
from the wood deck.
Oh,
It's like
that's
super
too
rare,
bad.
obviously.
That's too bad.
So this gets put in the banished of the job. So find the job and put it at the very, very back. Just throw it in there. And unless we reset the whole campaign, you don't get that back.
Okay, but now here we can look at the
We
job
can look
board
at,
for new
so
job.
pull out the jobs from the job section between the active and inactive. Like, you know, it's the same idea as the other ones.
Yeah.
Probably only have 1 or 2 in there.
2.
Yep. So we can look at these and take a new job. So we have the Family Crest job, which they're researching an old queendom, trying to get a more accurate picture of who served and where. I need someone to look at the ruined watchtower by the water. Bring back any findings. This might be a watchtower that's at that place.
Wait.
I don't know where it is.
But we have to go around, right? Because we can.
There's no watchtower here. Well, here's the other thing. I've already known by trying to knock on this guy's door and talking to people in the bar and someone in the herbology or apothecary, whatever place, that this guy is the boat dude who I think has a boat service that goes there, but he wasn't home or something, so I don't have access to use him.
Oh.
So that's just what I remembered. Even though they tease you with a raft right here, that's not happening. So I think maybe the watchtower might be here, so we can work towards that eventually.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
And it even says travel to Nimbus Peninsula, which I'm assuming the only peninsula in the game that we can see right now is called Nimbus Peninsula, but we've never flipped it to know.
Right.
So we'll have to go there. Yeah. And look for a token of who served there. Return the token. So bring key 29 to Keepwick Outskirts to claim this card.
Okay.
Return token.
So we need to travel there.
So we have to
look
find
for
the token.
Then we got to bring the token to this place.
What's Keepwick Outskirts? Oh, that's the farm.
Oh,
That's the farm.
where the ants are.
I'm learning these places now. Yeah, so we take that to
Okay.
Keepwick outskirts to claim this card.
Where we will.
And then claim, gain the reward, then key 29.
Oh, and the reward is 4 gold. Okay, this is not terrible. This is doable.
Oh, and the top left is also on Peninsula? Up here? I think these are mountain ranges. Does that count inside of a mountain? That's like a little valley? I don't know.
But isn't a peninsula on water?
I feel like a peninsula is like,
Yeah.
because of going to Cedar Point. Isn't
Yeah,
that,
that's what I was thinking.
That's the only way I know peninsulas is literally knowing about Cedar Point Theme Park, which is in Ohio. That literally is on a peninsula out in the water. And if I never knew about that place or went there, I wouldn't know what a peninsula is.
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong.
Do we have any peninsulas here?
Probably.
Canada?
I think Peggy's Cove is like up on a peninsula.
Huh.
I think, but I could be wrong. Maybe not. I don't know. That's like a famous place people visit and film at and all that kind of stuff. Huh. In Nova Scotia, I think. Or maybe New Brunswick. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Sorry to my East Coasters. Or this is the original one that gave me first in the game was Gather Bird Root. Okay, I wandered around. That's how I went to all these places out in the grass area and never could find what is called the sward.
Okay.
While there, I may spend stamina to search for bird root. You can spend a stamina, do a wisdom check, and you can keep spending stamina as much as you want. And every time you succeed, you place a gold up on here up to 3. And when you feel like you're ready, you have to have at least 1. You return to Fellsworn Village, where we are, to claim this and then add a new job to the deck. And you'll get all the gold you put on the card. So if you hold on to this for a while and keep grinding it with stamina and rolling wisdom checks, eventually you can gather up to 3 money, go trade it in. But
I personally like the other one better.
yeah, so we'll take the other one.
Okay.
So this is our party.
And this one goes back in our available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, this is Exiles camp. We're not there right now. This is the one we're at.
Which we now can buy because we now have enough money. Somebody does.
Do you want to just buy this?
Yeah, I'll buy it.
How much is your stamina? 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So spend 3 and here you go. So when you get this, you automatically get to fill it up with cubes and you can like equip it in where the other knapsack. You can have 2 knapsacks if you don't want your throwing knife, for example.
I need that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So, but again, out of combat, you can switch them. No problem. You can't use a knapsack out of your backpack, out of your inventory. But out of combat, you can switch and use and do whatever you want.
And am I supposed to track like that these still have available to,
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
And they get refilled with the others and all that stuff. You are, if you put that into your, so you want to empty out your inventory to make room for something else. If you put it back in your, if you put this stuff or anything back into your box here, you lose the cubes off it. And if you pull it out of there at where you can access your stow, does this one let you do it?
I don't think so.
No. Does this one let you do it? Yeah. You would have to go to a guild place, like this campsite, that lets you mess around with your stash.
Oh.
So this, you can always stow anytime in the game, because obviously they don't want you to lose items. We've played so many games like this that are just like, okay, if you find an item you can't use right now, just stow it for later, like, you know, put it in the party deck or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can get it later, but you can only get it here at the retrieve.
Okay.
But you can still stow here. But you can stow anytime, but you can retrieve only by going back here. But when you retrieve it, you do not get the cubes back on it. You'll then have to pay to refresh it.
Okay, okay. That makes sense.
And you can't stow any armor that has wear tokens on it. So you must repair it first.
Okay.
Yes. So there's it doesn't have to track that stuff. Which
isn't there a thing in combat where I can put a token on my glove or like use an action on my glove to change things from my inventory, or no? Is that wrong?
In combat, you can spend a minor action, yes, to
put on my glove.
I don't know if that's where you do put it.
I think it said put on your hand.
Yeah, okay, and then you can switch.
So after I've used this, then I can.
Yes.
Okay.
In combat, yes, that's what I said multiple times.
Okay, just making sure that I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the starting place. We're not here right now. This is where we started today at the Exiles camp, which is on E2 here. And this is where I was going back to save because it's free.
Oh, I see. The whole part.
But we don't have to go back there. But
where was it?
It's just right here. So you have to go like up and around. But this one just costs us 1. But then if you notice, like compare the two, This Exile's Market, you can spend 1 to add 1 cube to all fully empty potions and knapsacks. So if it's not empty, you can't add anything to it here. But at this one, you spend 1 and you fill all potions up. I have a potion.
Oh, you have one missing one. Okay.
But like, it's fine. You know what I mean? But this is like, there's another town too I found down here that has different options and levels of strength and costs.
That's cool.
So it's not always the same where you go. So you might want to take advantage of certain things at certain places versus others.
And then how do you determine, or how have you in the past determined when it's like a good time to rest?
I'm going to say just like I have only 1 health left.
Yeah.
I could use a potion to get 1 more back, but like I don't want to get in any fights.
Right, right.
And I don't know if the thing in this game is they can trap you where you reveal a tile and it has foes on it. You're now in combat and you don't get the first turn.
Yeah.
So I could get automatically hit like I did by that ant on the first action. I'm now dead. I can stagger. So they put the stagger mechanic in, it seems like, as a band-aid for that issue, so that I could still get up and still survive one more round and maybe flee out of the combat.
Right.
As long as you can flee in that combat. So, but I think we're just going to like wrap it up here or here, whichever one you want to do. And that's kind of like your taste of the game. I know we took a long time to like set your character up, explain things. We rambled on about like thoughts about the game and Trudvang Legends and other stuff at the beginning of the stream. So we don't need to play that long this session. And that's the beauty of the game. You can kind of, anytime you go to rest, you have the option of saving.
Yeah.
We wouldn't get that option again until we rest again. But you just kind of look at what's going on. Like, I only have 0 stamina left.
Yeah, same.
You have 0 stamina.
I mean, I could use some of my tokens, but...
Yeah, you can use your tokens. We can travel a little more, but then when we get into combat, we have no way to get stamina, and now we can't move around very often. We're getting caught.
Right, right.
So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, we can push it. We can play long. You can play short. But I'm okay not playing.
So based on that, you decide where we camp, because I only need stamina. So whatever's more efficient for you with filling up your...
Like, we can just pay 1 and rest here. It's fine. But we don't need to remove exhaustion. So that's why I was like, I didn't do it. But you can't level up here. You can only level up here. But we're not leveling up. We need lots more experience for that. But just like things like that. Oh, this place, also this guild one, you can change skills out and retrain skills and stuff, which we don't need to do yet. But if you look at this one, this is free, but you have nothing that's fully empty, and neither do I. So,
So it's fine to just do it here, right? Because
yeah, let's just spend 1, I guess.
Is it 1 each?
No, it's just 1 money, I think. I'll just spend the 1 here. It's spent. And now we heal up all of our little 3 stats.
Okay.
And then, which one was it? This one. Oh yeah, we draw a day card. So how? Oh yeah. The day card thing again. The deck is empty this time. Just looking at the index on the back of the rulebook for day 14. Okay, when the day deck's empty. When you're asked to draw a day card, but the deck is empty, follow the text on the top day card. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. There was stuff to read that I was like, oh, I only read this stuff. First time you draw, you do this. If the day deck is empty when you need to draw, add day 4. So if you can find day 4 in the inactive day deck, and immediately remake the day deck face down in sequential order from lowest on top to highest on the bottom, then draw the top card off the day deck. It should be day 1. So I flip this, I put this on the bottom, and then I flip, and it's a beautiful day. Oh. It is a wonderful day for adventuring. You feel the sunshine warm as a gentle breeze caresses your face. No special rules. But for example, on this card, when we flip day 2, I've already done this. So again, it's a little weird for housekeeping. I'm sure you'll remember it. It's not that bad, but we do not do this. Oh, yeah, when I flip it, because it's the second time I've seen day 2, for example.
I see.
Yeah, a little weird, but I'm sure it makes sense. I hope.
Oh, these are your cards as well. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
That was definitely really cool.
And then we shuffle this travel deck, if you want to shuffle that.
Yeah.
We refresh our travel tokens, so they're back full travel ability. And if there's anything on your board that refreshes when you rest, I don't know if you have any examples.
I have just this one.
Yeah, so this one, for example, that shows a rest symbol inside of the refresh symbol. you would refresh that cube now, but you wouldn't just refresh it any other time. And I don't know what else to say. I just know I need to put away some tiles that we left out, and they're going in face up because I've already cleared them. And clearing them just means done all events and enemy fighting on them. So that way you do not spawn the enemies or events again, but none of these have enemies or events on them, but they still just go in that way so that we remember we've been there. 11 and 12. Whoops, upside down. That's why I can't see it. And okay. So yeah, it feels like you barely did anything, experienced anything, but really the game is generally just traveling. You saw the travel mechanic and how it wears you down, tries to make you hungry and tired to slow you down so you can't literally explore the whole map in one session. Then your choice of zooming in onto locations and then further zooming in. You could have visited this and we put a new tile on here. We're inside this building. There's a bar in here that has stairs that goes to a second floor that gets spawned, for example. You could talk to this NPC who might do something. There's a kid playing out here that I talked to that then added a new tile down here that was a hidden cave where I found a little treasure. Lots of stuff happened on this tile. It was a good tutorial place to visit for your first town to then do a whole bunch of stuff on this map. But that's generally the adventuring is moving around here, zooming in, zooming out, traveling around, maybe getting into some fights. You saw a fight. You saw NPCs, you saw POIs, you saw towns, you saw guilds, you saw the day deck, the travel deck, the threat deck, the picking skills, leveling up, managing your stuff, picking jobs, job board, purchasing items from an armorer. You saw some options there. Keys, you saw the key system, getting keys and how we might want to progress and further stories through keys. All this stuff we've seen in other games before. This is like literally, since we just played Distant Skies, like these keys are literally the same as like all those quests we had with the keywords on top.
Yeah.
We're just going to build up a bunch of them and jobs and stuff, and we're just going to kind of let that direct us. We'll find money along the way. We'll find XP along the way. We'll find squills along the way. But we were trying to find as many squills as possible. We have 2 right now. I don't know how many you need. And that's just similar like the totems in Distant Skies. We're just trying to find as many totems, doing as much side questing as we can, and build ourselves up. And eventually, at some point, we'll win the game, I guess, or not. I don't know. But yeah, you've pretty much seen a bit of everything. So it's up to you to decide. We'll talk after stream. I don't know if you have any thoughts now to discuss on stream. That's up to you. We can talk with the chat, figure things out. But that's the game. Seemed cool in 2-player. I definitely enjoy having you here when we're fighting on those maps and I'm not staring at 5 monsters and it's just an elf with a bow that doesn't want to be near any monsters and I don't want to be shooting from a distance. I do have a hunting knife that I can do some up-close combat with, but it's definitely nice to have another party member in the mix. I do like the puzzle of combat when there's multiple different types of characters all covering strengths and weaknesses of each other and making a fight more puzzly and interesting. Yeah. I prefer that. But if you think it's boring AF to wander around this board or zoom in and talk to NPCs and constantly pull out map tiles and cards and put them away and pull them out and reading and all that stuff, and maybe getting one fight every now and then, maybe running from some fights, flipping some tokens, discovering, trying to find clues and push stories, this is literally like every other game we play, just does a few things a little different. A little mishmash of Seventh Continent and Sleeping Gods and Hexplored and Folklore, the Affliction, and like it's literally just like nothing new here, I don't think, that I've seen. But it's just a different mix of putting things from other games that aren't normally all put together.
Yeah.
And if you want to continue playing 2-player, then our next stream will be like probably Monday evening.
Do you want me to say right now if I want to?
No.
Okay.
But I'm just mentioning, I haven't scheduled it yet, but if you're going to look for the next episode, look for it in the playlist in the video description. When I do schedule it, probably later today or tomorrow, it will either be Monday evening if I'm playing with Mel. And if I'm not playing with Mel, then it might be Tuesday in the day again. I'll go back to playing it solo in the day. And if we pick the third option and you only want to play it sometimes, then I could just play it solo, then you drop in and you drop out, and I play a few and then you drop in. That might not be the best way to play it. I don't really want to do it that third way, but yeah, I'm definitely down to wait for you if you want to play, and we only play like 1 or 2 times a week and kind of continue that way. and then I'll play other games, and we can do other stuff in between also. So yeah. But any thoughts, anything to say about the game and whatever's on your mind?
I guess I will say that the game seemed harder when I first opened the rulebook than it actually is, and maybe it's because I can put some of the rules to other games that we've played. But when I
it seemed more complicated?
Yeah, it seemed more complicated.
Not harder, but more complicated.
More complicated, and
harder, difficult to learn and master.
Yeah, I initially opened the rulebook and thought, oh, this is going to be this is going to take a long time to learn. But I think also too, having you play a few sessions, and go through that has definitely helped to explain like things that I was not really 100% sure of. But it seems a little bit more straightforward now after playing. I feel like I at least just scratched the surface, and it's very,
like we didn't do a ton in the combat, but you already got to practice in the dummy fight we did last night off stream. You got to see how your daggers work, your traps work, your hidden and all that stuff. You got some new skills that you're going to eventually get the chance to use a lot of that stuff.
That was also a clever way to teach you how to use your items to make sure you're using everything correctly, kind of like walks you through. That was very clever, I thought. Yeah.
All right, what are you guys thinking in the chat? Any comments, any thoughts, anything? I know some of you are here watching today that haven't been watching the last few episodes live because it's a weekend. I know when I play on the weekdays versus the weekends, it's a different group sometimes. But yeah, any thoughts? Let's see here. Resting for free at a guild is a great boon, especially solo. The day deck is to add events in a timely manner.
That makes sense.
Is not something to worry about. Oh, okay.
And that's
what the developer said. Okay, cool.
That's kind of how Sleeping Gods or Distant Skies was too, right? Where it would add events in there to kind of like push things along.
Yeah. Get cool loot. Become the ultimate elf. Hell yeah. Viper says, I like that not everything is fighting in this game. Agreed.
Yeah, I like that.
Agreed. If I had to do this fighting system like a ton of my play session every time, I probably would get worn down. I like the way it's like refreshing, like the exploration. You're like, are we going to fight today? Are we going to explore? What's going to happen? Is that one fight going to set us so we need to run back and heal up? Or we do a little fight and we're fine, and then we run into a town and we save on our adventure? Or do we have to go back to another town? Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to work on a job? Are we going to meet someone that gives us a new key and we go on a different side adventure? I like how you're not sure what's going to happen, and it's a little bit of everything. I do appreciate that. I'm okay if we play and we don't fight every single time we play.
Yeah.
That is refreshing. It's not like the usual campaign dungeon crawler fantasy adventure trope where it's like, here is a play session. You will read story, you will set up battle, you will fight battle, and you will do housekeeping after.
Right.
Then you come back to the game and you will read story, you will set up battle, you will do battle, and you'll read story. That can get a little boring too, right? It is neat that, like, I don't know next time we play what we're doing exactly.
I want to go and check out that peninsula.
Yeah, but when we get to that peninsula, all of a sudden at that peninsula, it pops up an NPC you go talk to, he gives you a key, and now you're on some other side quest thing and not doing the job we're there to do.
True.
And then
that might not be where we need to go.
Yeah.
We don't even know.
Or you find the token you need, and there's also some cool stuff to do there, but we just get the token and we're like, and maybe that token was a pain in the butt to get, and now we should just kind of go continue that story rather than stay here. We'll come back later, you know, like you do whatever. Or along the way, maybe some travel card that got put in is going to create some new option for us. I don't know. That could happen, I guess. Yeah, I feel a little like the overworld is like Explore It, right? You're on Explore It, you're wandering around the overworld map. You're like, we're going to go to this town, or we're going to go find that boss over here somewhere, right? We're going to go through the mountains or whatever. But on the way, you're flipping those little cards that, like, all of a sudden you're getting attacked. All of a sudden the weather changes. All of a sudden there's some overarching punishment or a test that has to happen, or you just got some cool loot. Or you found a hole in the ground. Boom, now you're in some underground thing, and you're, you know, like, it's kind of like that, where, like, we're flipping tiles, Explore It style, and who knows what is going to happen between now and the thing we want to do.
So for me, I actually think the overworld part, or like the zoomed out part, is very much Fate Forge. Right? We're traveling across the map, we're
I know.
on a mission, or we're trying to find a quest, or we're trying to talk to this person, and then, you know, a fight might ensue. And I like that game, and so far I've only played one, but in this game, the fights don't seem like they're there, like they make sense. They're not just there to say this has fighting in it.
Random fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for no reason.
That is the one thing when I saw this game, started reading the rules for it, what made me want to just get it to the table and play it solo was my still bias, recency bias or whatever, love from Fate Forge.
Yeah.
It felt like there was some similarities to it.
Yeah,
and I still had some fond memories of Folklore the Affliction too, which gave me vibes of this too. Yeah. And a little Sword and Sorcery, and I was like, yeah, I want to explore this game by myself. Oh, and Seventh Citadel.
Yeah, and the Sleeping Gods with the enemies.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care for that. Like, yeah.
No, I know, but it's like a little mix of all these.
I don't have super fond memory of those games playing solo, but I do have Seventh Citadel and Seventh Continent.
Yeah.
So it made me want to just start playing it solo and experience it, because it seemed like it was influenced by those. And I played Explore It solo, and it seemed influenced by that too. Yeah, so I was just excited to get into it and play it and try it and see how if it pulled me in like those games did, you know, and had some fun, super long streams just playing through some random stuff. But I think it is probably better to play multiplayer, and we continue that way if I have anything to say about it. But
I like the idea that I was able to come in at the level you were.
Yeah,
so I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage. You know, in other games, like you have somebody pop in and they're like much lower, so they don't feel like they're doing as much.
Yeah, Jackpot Man says, hi, gang. It seems cool, but other games does a lot of the same stuff.
Yep.
But these are the kind of mechanics and things I like, and they're from some of my favorite games I've played of all time, right? So it's like, all right, I'm okay if your game was inspired by all these other big hit blockbuster games, and especially ones that I loved a lot about, and you take all things from that and put them together in your own concoction. I want to try it. I'm in. Like, I'll try it.
That was one of my biggest, I guess, points from Fate Forge when we were playing that and talking about our thoughts on that, was it took all the best parts of all the games I loved. So I haven't played enough of this to know if this is the same, but
it's just
not a bad thing.
Looking back, again, not realizing, but that is probably another reason why I'm thinking like this game would appeal to me more if it had that app assistance.
Yeah.
Because I did have this similar style game in Fate Forge Chronicles of Con. Very recently, we played through it on the channel, and that app and that app helped with story and getting you into your battles and all that stuff, and spicing it up a little bit and respecting your time, and still surprising you in the middle of your playthrough by adding and changing things and stuff like that. I don't want to spoil much, but it did it very beautifully, and I think it was the perfect balance. But I'm okay not to have an app. It's just it's just like we were a little spoiled in that one with that, and it did it very well. But yes, the fight seemed similar, and that one had its own map mode where we wandered around and talked to people and stuff. So yeah, it's very, very similar.
Well,
but that game also is like probably a third of the price.
True. Well, it doesn't have minis, right?
Yeah.
I think just our player minis.
Yeah.
But Viper does ask, how much would it cost to hire a secretary to manage all the tedious aspects of Aridia?
I did. You just have to marry one.
Was that better for you? Was that easier?
It's an unknown, gargantuan, unmeasurable costs. Okay? You have to dedicate your rest of your life.
High?
You have to hitch your wagon to somebody, and with all the negatives that come along with that. But trust me, it's worth it. It is so worth it, okay? Just for the fact I do not have to fiddle with the card deck anymore.
I was going to ask, did that help?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm tired of playing around with that card deck. I literally still have PTSD from like Seventh Continent.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Fiddling around through the cards. And then after a 7-hour stream, sitting in front of the TV for 30 minutes while I'm like putting cards away in order and making sure I don't mess them up. And after a session, I got a deck like this high of cards that I have to put away. So yeah, I'm getting like PTSD every time I dig in the deck. I'm like, oh, I'm going to mess this up. But yeah. Secretary needs healthcare, 401k, food, and clothing.
Not cheap.
Yeah, and attention. So annoying. So annoying. Anyways. Yogi says, much cheaper to find some random in the alleyway.
Probably.
Let's go to a local homeless tent, area.
Encampment?
Yeah, and a homeless encampment, just like have the rule book, like, anyone want to help me with this game here? I'm sure nothing bad would happen there.
What, do you pay them in like snacks?
I don't know what you do. Just hope they don't bite you or something. Minion says, honestly, I mainly like the player boards. The gameplay itself doesn't seem all that exciting. I'd try it if I knew someone with it, but I wouldn't buy it myself. Are you talking about
that's fair.
Minion?
Game, yeah.
You're talking about Arydia, right,
yeah.
Minion? I can totally see that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Test them for rabies. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna need you to come with me to this doctor's office first for some testing. So this blood lab. Yeah, Aridia. Okay, perfect. Anyways, that's it for episode 4 of our Aridia the Password Tread playthrough, which is now turned into a co-op playthrough for now and not a solo anymore. But we'll see. Stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that episode. You'll find it in your subscription feed. Or if you're subscribed, turn on notifications so that you don't miss when we go live next. And thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for hitting the like button, by the way. 43 likes so far. I mean, we could do better. There was over like 70 people watching earlier, I saw. So some of you got away.
Yeah, maybe they.
But I forgot to mention it earlier. But thank you for liking the videos in the series. That helps other people find them if you're enjoying it. If you're enjoying a game we're playing on the channel, hit the like button on those videos because YouTube will promote those videos to people with similar likes to what you're watching and help other people find the channel and fill the chat and make the audience there. And then make us keep playing the game more often because if you guys are here in numbers enjoying it, we know we should keep playing it too, right? But yeah, thank you for the support. Thanks to all these people, of course, for supporting the channel, allowing us to purchase giant box-ass games like this and play them for you on stream. And what else? I don't know what else. Yeah, and thanks for subscribing to all you amazing subscribers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you in the next stream.
Bye.
Bye-bye.